This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
So now go.
We're live, Jordan, are we? Now that you're all well choked up by that introduction, welcome to this evening's episode of the Open Comm Show. Our gathering here this evening, the family and friends of Big Country, is for the purpose of paying tribute to his life and mourning his death. Life, as we can clearly see on an occasion such as this, is always lived in the presence of death, and the brightness of life is highlighted by the shadow of death. We're opening up tonight's show with a prayer from the Reverend Grath Telkin. Actually, we're not, because Grath isn't here right now, so no Reverend Grath Telkin for you. We're not going to do that. Hopefully the gut-wrenching part is behind us, because believe me, if you thought that slideshow and bagpipes was hard to watch, it was a lot harder to put together. So without further ado, let me tell you who we have here with us tonight. We can get down to a celebration of BC's life and his contribution that hopefully we all shared a little part in, rather than dwell on that which we cannot control. Who do we have here tonight? Well, Drayden, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
We've also got Rain and Rocket X from the... Rain, were you crying already?
So I saw everyone else was kind of crying, and I'm like a very empathetic crier because I turned off the stream. So yeah, I was definitely tearing up. So
we've got Mr. Jay McLean and his lovely wife, Mrs. McLean. How you doing?
Doing all right, buddy.
All right. Also off camera, we have got, who do we have? Cypher. Cypher, how you doing, bro?
I've been better.
Yep, I hear you. We've also got Mr. Elise Randolph. Elise, how you doing?
Hey, it was about a week ago, but I mean, not too bad, I guess, all things considered. Happy to be here.
A week ago seems like forever ago at this point. Let me
does,
tell
man.
you. Scared Panda, how are you this evening?
I'm doing okay. I was able to steal some internet to make sure to be here today, so I'm happy to at least be with you guys.
Well, thanks for being here. Urziel99, how are you this evening, my friend?
I was doing better till I saw that intro.
Yep. And then I didn't mention you, did I, Wiggles? DJ
No, you
Wiggles
didn't.
from Eve Radio.
Yeah, I'm here.
On
I'm
screen.
doing the simulcast over on Eve Radio and being here to remember my friend.
Yep, this was definitely it's definitely nice to see that we're simulcasting over to Eve Radio, which is where BC got his start in being a DJ and where this show has its origins. So yes, that's kind of nice. And last but not least, at the moment, although we are expecting some other people to come along as the night goes on, we've actually got Mrs. Big Country. Mrs. Big Country, thank you so much for coming by tonight. It's not your first time on the show, obviously, but I know it is a rough time.
For sure. I can't talk yet.
I can't talk yet. All right. Well, we will give you a little bit of time. I know you wanted to come by and just sort of thank everybody. The last thing I want to say before just throwing it out there to whoever kind of wants to open it up. Number one, this is not going to be a regular Open Com show in the sense that you know what. Several of us just got back from Eve Vegas. We're really not going to be talking about that unless it comes into play with kind of the larger subject that's going on here. We're not going to be talking about dev blogs or what's coming out in the next expansion or anything like that. Tonight it is simply about kind of remembering our brother who we lost this week. And before I keep talking and make my own damn self cry, I am going to flip it over. I don't know. Drayden, take it away. Wiggles, take it away. Somebody goddamn take it out of my hands.
All right. First off, maybe I'll just start off with like how I first met BC. I guess I'll go with that. I don't know if that's like a format. Like you sounded like you were doing like a real formal intro thing, but I'm gonna throw it off into like just kind of just general stuff. But anyway, so the first time I ever met BC, I didn't know who he was. He was blue to me, but I was trying to shoot him. So him and Ben's Big, which is another guy of the show before I came on the show, they were, I was in Persona non Gratis. He was, him and Dirk and their corporate Core Alliance. We were all pet alliances of the Solar Fleet back then. And they were camping a station, just like locking up haulers as they came in and out. And so Hackwa being the one that jumped the gun all the time. He's like, well, let's AWOX them before they AWOX us. So we went and we chased them down. We got a hold of Ben's Big, we killed him, and BC had just gotten away. And then a week later, that's when Dirk's Corp had moved into PNG, because Court Lines, I guess, was dying. And then I remember going up into the comms in the general pub lounge, and I saw BC in there. I was like, isn't that the guy I just tried to shoot last week? So, yeah, and then he didn't care. We were just bullshitting after that. And then that was the one thing I liked about PNG was like they had the lounge. It wasn't like everyone had their own corp channels. It was everyone sat in this one channel and like all the different corps conversed to each other. And that's how I was able to meet BC because he wasn't in my corp. And that's how I met, like everyone hung out there. We all started talking. And then that's eventually where him and I talked a bunch. And then that's when he wanted me to come on the show with him. So that was how I initially came on the show, but also how I came to meet BC. And then since then, it's just been, history.
Yeah, I was actually there that night when they were getting shot. I was actually
it was a diplomatic nightmare.
But yeah, and the funny part is that's probably that's not too long after I don't think that we met Elise Randolph actually, because that was really just after the Russian Civil War ended and Elise and Pandemic Legion and Northern Coalition had been down there in support of X-Death and whatnot and doing some operations as renters that we were at the time, is where we first met Elise Randolph. And I remember the time I met Elise Randolph and it's like, oh my God, I met Elise Randolph. I actually talked to him. Wow. And then we had him on the show, and I think Elise said it the other day in one of the comments that he put out there related to BC was that this was apparently the first like podcast you'd been invited on. Yeah, Elise?
Yeah, for sure. Like as you were talking about, I was just like a plucky young FC. It feels like yesterday it was like 5-6 years ago now, and I just like been FCing a little thing versus you guys, and I had just been elected to the CSM, and then I get this convo out of the blue. They're like, "Hey, do you want to be on a radio show / podcast thing that just talk about Eve stuff?" And I was like, I don't know how to respond to this. No one's ever asked me to do anything like this before. I'm kind of a nobody, but yeah, sure, this sounds cool. I'll do it. And then that was like 5 years ago. That was before it was even called the Open Com Show. It was just a big country
the
show
Big
on
Country
Eve
Show, yeah.
Radio.
That was the DJ Big Country Show. I remember that.
Yeah, I talked
Yep,
about
sure
Now
was.
everybody has
for-
you on. You're a big celebrity.
Yeah.
I wish, man, I wish. But we were just talking about shit, and the thing is, like, the thing that I loved about it is, and that like hasn't been reproduced anywhere, right? Like, he didn't care if there's 5 people watching, or if there were like 500.
listening.
It was the same shit day in, day out, or week in, week out.
That that was definitely true, and that was kind of one of the things that we said for a number of years. Hey, Jeff Rader, how are you?
Oh, hey, guys.
That was
Jeff.
that was definitely one of the things that we said for a number of years, and I think that we meant it up until even right now, is that the whole reason that we did it was kind of for ourselves. We hoped somebody else might find it interesting, and over time, people did, but it was really no more energy than we were kind of exerting in our normal comms on any given day. So
Well, that was what it was.
That's really what it was. It was our
I
comms.
exactly remember. I remember the initial iteration of what ended up to be the Open Com Show, and it was BC ends. I think you were there. You weren't there initially, Dirk. But there was a few others, and it was just people bullshitting on TeamSpeak. And BC came to me and said to me, literally, "How do I get TeamSpeak patched into Sam?" And I was like, "We do this, this, and this." And he goes, "Well, I haven't got this." And I went, "Well, you can do it this way." And we sat down and we went through it and we got it all sorted. And then, at that an hour or so later, he was like, "I can do it," and he's done. And he's like, "Next show, I'm doing it," and it was done. And that was the thing. He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." And he goes, "I don't care what anyone thinks about it. I'm just gonna talk about shit because you know what? It's the same old shit we're gonna talk about in Corp Coms. I'm just gonna bring it over and get some interaction with it." And that's exactly what he did.
Well, it was it was. I think that's why I got a little bit easier of a time than I thought I was going to when he first brought me on, because when he first, I don't know why, I think it was because they wanted like a new player perspective, because I've been playing for like 2 months in like the game, I think, when he's like, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll be a guest." I was like, "I don't know what you want to ask me," and I was thinking it'd be this
Just wanted somebody
formal.
else to hang out with, bro.
Right, well,
perspective.
Right, but it's like, so I was expecting like this whole formal thing, like back and forth, what do you call it, interview type thing. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm not prepared. I don't know shit. And then I get on the show and it's like, this sounds like the P&G Lounge. Like it's a little bit easier. I was still pretty quiet for like, I don't know, I'd say a month before I started talking a bit more, but yeah, no, it's he wasn't kidding. Like he wanted to do like basically what the comms were, and that's it really was what the show is.
I mean, one of my favorite parts was definitely like, not only was it not super structured, so I didn't have to like freak out about things, but there was a nice little drinking aspect to it too that I really enjoyed. Just
Really
chilling,
identified
talking
with
about
that, yeah.
spaceships. End up the night, kind of head spinning a little bit.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, drinking has kind of always been with it from the start. It's had its moments where it's
Wait,
too much.
Dirk, sorry, I gotta plug my headset in. My headset reset, so whatever you said, re-say it.
Oh no, I was just going to say that drinking has always been a part of it. Again, the formation of the show was kind of this. What do bros do after work when they're going to happy hour? After the job and just hanging out and kind of talking about what it is, whatever it is that happened that day. So it was definitely a hanging out at the bar kind of kind of thing. But one of the things I do want to throw up here is I think it's beyond time that we pay the man. I haven't had a drink since goddamn Eve Vegas last week. All right, and I'm not saying that's a record or anything, but over the course of the last couple of days, I have wanted to do this. So you know what? Here's the Big Country. He's the one that started this. I'm not doing an extra shot because I cry. So, although we will do shots for Dirk crying, but I'm just not there yet. He's the one that started this, and I am going to miss him terribly because I have really questioned. Holy shit! Him and I were like just foils on each other when it came to this stuff, and I'm not sure any of you can stand up to that right now. So, here's my shot to Big Country. Love you, brother.
Yep.
To BC and how he always carried Dirk on his back trying to pick up the conversation in comms.
He kept it going. That's the thing. And
I have
this
so many
is the thing.
Sherpas.
This is the thing about BC, right? As long as I've known him, he was the consummate professional, and he wanted to keep the conversation going. He knew that dead air was the killer for radio, and then it's the killer for a podcast. In a podcast, you can edit it out, you can zero rate it or whatever, or on a Twitch stream, well, it's fine. You've got things going on screen, but it's keeping that conversation going, even if it's just talking about, oh look, I just found a Cheeto, under my keyboard. I'm going to eat it, just to get a comment going like that. And people go, what the fuck did you find? And you're like, yeah, I found it there.
How many
It's
nights
like,
were there like that, though? You know what I mean? How many nights were there where it was like, he found a piece of food and it's
every
like,
other night?
Why throw it away?
It was that or his beard. Found it.
Or his beard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or that's a perfectly good piece of pizza in the trash. That's fine. Dust it off. Fine, eat it. It's fine.
So we now have
Seriously,
CCP Falcon. Oh, go
When
on.
he shaved his beard recently, he goes, I never realized how much food I dropped until I shaved my beard.
I told him that's how he was going to outlive the end of the world. Was he was going to be able to at least live for a couple days out of that
Beard
beard.
stash.
Well,
But yeah,
we
we are also
yeah.
joined by CCP Falcon. Falcon, thank you so much for coming by. I know it's late
Yeah, man.
in your neck of the woods, but
Well, he's the same as me now because the UK has gone back to GMT.
I know, but he's actually probably got something to do tomorrow.
Well, it depends, actually. He should have something to do, but he's not going to be there.
Falcon is somebody. Falcon is somebody who actually he was our first guest last week on the Eve Vegas broadcast of this show, and he was one of the people from CCP that reached out to me this week, which I'll get to later, which I totally freaking appreciated. But yeah, Falcon, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I mean, not too bad. It's been a busy week. It's been a bizarre week actually.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot to keep us busy. Yeah, I mean, it's just. I think there's obviously. I mean, there's been a lot of talk in the office about what's happened as well. There's been a lot of people who were like, kind of, holy shit, you know what I mean?
It always amazes me. Again, a week ago, whether it be Friday night sitting at the Heart Bar or Saturday night at the Chateau party and looking out over the crowd of people. I remember pulling Eldar aside, and I remember pulling some other people from high, what I'll call higher up, Seagull aside, and saying, look out there, look at this crowd of people. They don't care right now about what alliance they're from or coalition they're a part of or corporation. They're out there having a good time. You guys have got to be so proud of that. And then something like this happens, and this is not the first time that this has happened. Number one, Eve has lost players before. We've lost, what I'll call high-profile players that people have heard their names. We've lost people that nobody knows who they are. But this community has a way of coming together to rally around its own. I wish we could rally around people that we didn't know happened as much, but you as the company have got to feel so good, not just about the game that you have created, but what that has spawned.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible. I mean, we look at things, and 9 times out of 10, the stuff that gets into the media is, the undertone of what gets into the media generally around Eve is, hey, Eve players are dicks to each other in game. There's the scams, there's the rip-offs, there's the metagame. There's the infight, and there's the banning of gambling. There's all the controversial shit that makes it into the press. And generally, the Eve community sometimes takes negative press, but generally takes more controversial press, and is like, wow, these guys are like really, really hardcore. And then you look at events like eVegas. I was talking to Stephen from PC Gamer, who's been writing articles recently, and it was his first time at an EVE event when he came to Vegas this year, and I was lucky enough to to sit down and have dinner with him and Brendan from Massively, and they were just like, holy shit, like you see a different side of the EVE community. You see everyone throw their alliances aside, throw their in-game affiliations aside, and everyone just has a drink. And everyone just raises a glass to internet spaceships, raises a glass to just being one solid, cohesive unit with something in common. And then, I got home from Vegas and I heard about what happened from Imperium.news with BC, and I was absolutely fucking mortified when I heard about it. I couldn't. I was like, wow, I was talking to BC on Thursday. We were shooting the shit before the Open Com show. He grilled me a little bit about things that have been happening, and you just don't expect this kind of thing. But then when you see, it doesn't matter, people from alliances all over EVE, you see, massive long Reddit threads with nothing but good words, nothing but tributes, and people set aside the in-game affiliations, they set aside, all the bullshit that happens in EVE, and you see, a GoFundMe that raises nearly 700% of its intended goal, just purely out of goodwill and purely out of respect for a guy who is loved by a lot of people. It makes my job, it makes me sit back and say, yeah, I'm the fucking luckiest guy in the world to be the guy who manages the team who deals with this community. And
we literally just hit $7,000.
Yeah, literally,
No, I mean, like 5 minutes ago, somebody put in exactly the amount that would take it to $7,000.
See, and that's just EVE players through and through. But it's incredible.
This is the thing, right? I've seen this on Twitter all week. That's been going on. I've seen it on Reddit, and I've seen it on the comments on the GoFundMe. The money helps. It's not going to change things, but that's the thing. It's about coming together as a community, and regardless whether the community is 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, whatever, and doing those things for the ones of us. Yes, and I said this on Reddit, and I've said this elsewhere. I don't want to say BC was Marmite, but people loved him, people disliked him, but you know what? He was one of us, and that's the thing.
Even the ones who didn't like him still listen to our show.
Yes, even that. That's the thing. He was one of us. He was one of ours. He was one of our very own. For a few people here, he was closer than the thing. People out there said they didn't know him, but they give and they donate. And, they people that listen to the shows, whether it been on EVE Radio or on the Matani Twitch or on podcast or whatever thing he's been around on. And it's that thing that brings the community together. And you see it across communities. You see it on every game. And that's the thing. It's remembering the fallen and the friends and the family. And it's doing things like this, sitting up at 1:25 in the morning, having a drink with friends to remember a friend who's long gone, who's just gone. And that's the thing.
We are going to do another shot here. Drayden, you want to call toast on this one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a man of many words, so I'll make it a little bit short. But again, to BC, I've said it before, but sorry, my voice is going out. He was one of the first friends I met in this game, and he's one of the longtime friends I've had in this game. Him and Dirk and Wiggles I met shortly after as well. But to BC, hanging out with me and Eve all the way till the end, and I'll just re-say what he always said. We can't be better hosts. You need to be a better listener. So cheers.
Nice.
Amen.
Cheers.
Yeah, and I just want to I want to reiterate what Porkbutt said out there. He said, I talked to Fintaru at TwitchCon. Now Fintaru, for all of you know, is a streamer here in EVE, but he also does moderating for Twitch itself. And he said that Big Country came the closest to getting us in trouble with Twitch. So props to him for that. Love the guy. Which I'll be honest.
What?
I will be personally shocked that it was him.
Really?
But it must have been on a technicality.
No. BC had this affinity. Dirk, you remember what happened on EVE Radio. You know why.
No.
Oh, I was
I know. But what he was on Eve Radio, I sort of like delved into, sometimes deeper on Twitch, which had way more rules associated with it. So if he was in fact the one that got us closest, and I don't say us as the show, because one of the problems that we have with this show is that we are affiliated with a channel and all of the other streamers that are on it. If he was in fact the one that got us closest, I'm surprised, because I know my own background.
I'm not surprised.
I am, because New Year's Eve probably should have broke shit down.
You know, and you've seen exactly what goes on between Eve Radio and between CCP. I've seen it because I have to be for management. You know how close some things have been at a point of where, look, you remember the time. You remember the time when the show was taken off for what, 2 weeks? Was it 10 days, 12 days, something like that?
And you know what? It's almost like breaches of. It's almost like bands. Okay, back in the day, it's almost like Summer Blink versus the casinos today. What BC got taken off the air for at Eve Radio 2 years ago almost seems like nothing today.
No. You saw what he saw. I saw what went back and forth between CCP and
Could you tell us?
GRN. I can.
I know there's a lot of beating
can,
around
but,
the bush here, but we're not allowed to say
but we're both not going to purely because of.
Well, that makes that an amazing story.
No, back then. Okay, so back.
Can I say it?
So
I'll say it.
hold on.
If you want.
I'll tell the story. So basically, back then, okay, was when a certain former female player of the game was working for CCP, and BC made a comment that would have been along the lines of attention whore, but left the attention part out, and CCP, rightfully so, took issue with it, okay, and came down on one of their fan sites, okay, Eve Radio, who then had to basically lodge a sanction against BC. It was going to be a 2-week sanction, but they cut
talked
it
about
short.
this before. We definitely talked about this.
We
before.
have. No,
You
we
talked
have
about
talked
it.
about
When we first started.
We have talked about it. We have talked about it before. But I mean, these are the things, and what I want to say is this: I want to apologize for the past, as well as what I know will be the future, okay, of open comms, from the standpoint of we're going to say things that, that aren't quite what hydrostatic is going to say, all right? But
it's not a professional podcast.
Our
like
hearts,
Radio, so no one
our
expects
hearts
it.
are in this game, okay?
Exactly.
Our hearts
This
are
is the
in
thing.
this game.
This is the thing, right?
We
Yeah,
got
look at me.
Saragossa just came in.
Yep. Look at me, right? I'm an Eve Radio DJ, right? Dirk, how long have you known me? You've known me what?
I've known
5,
you
6
almost
years?
as long as BC has, I guess. I mean,
And the point is that when I left Spectre Syndicate, put it this way, Dirk trusted me with his corp because he wanted the caps increased or whatever. So we did the whole
pretty much
burn of
because we
SEO
didn't have
and
shit. So it's like whatever.
whatever. The
Whatever,
point is I
take
left
over
and whatever.
CEO and flip it to where I
Yeah.
can have 500
Flip it.
members.
We did that. After that, I left and I was moving back to ISEC because I was bored with 0-0 stuff. I was bored with that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and do stuff. I did the Eve Radio stuff. You know what? I played this game 10 years. 10 years last month. Literally a month and a day. 10 years.
You should get a
Then
sword, bro.
Well, I should get 9 years. I've been on Eve Radio.
Falcon.
It'll be
Players who play this game for 10 years ought to get a sword in the game or something like that. That would be cool because it would match us.
Just say,
like-
Falcon, I know where you live. I'll come and find you.
Dude, do you think we really want to give you guys a sharp object?
No, not real
No,
ones.
no,
but how
no,
about
no.
just ones in game? Because that would make the game like the players in the game
would.
kind of like there with the employees of the company. You
Like
you
a
guys
Boken
get
or
yours up on a
something.
wall.
The thing is, I stopped doing the actual playing of the game, but I kept on with the community. And BC was one of those people that made sure that I kept on with the community because he did what was DJ Big Country Show, then formerly the Open Com Show, then it moved off and whatever. And it's the point of discussing the things and talking about the stuff. And then, I met Dirk and Drayden and Cypher I knew anyway. Cypher's just a reprobate who sleeps under somewhere anyway.
I sleep under everybody's podcast.
Exactly. Because he hosts them all, or does that.
Exactly.
But the fact is, I kept doing the things for the community, and the things like Totally Even, when you read an update and stuff like going to meets and things like this and that sort of stuff. Because you know what? And it's the old adage of saying, you can quit playing Eve, but you never really quit playing because you keep up on the meta. You keep up looking on the forums, or you Reddit, or Twitter, or
And nowadays you
Facebook,
can't even
things
quit.
like that.
You just become an alpha.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I tell a
Yeah.
BC story?
Yes.
Can I tell a non-Eve related BC story?
That is
Mhm.
that is what I wanted to throw to just you like real quick. Yeah, Jeff Rader. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
Jeff Rader. Please tell
All
us.
right, boys. So here it is on Wednesday, right? Got the text. I, obviously sick, fucking bawled my eyes out. I had to. I would have taken the day off too, but started a new job on Wednesday, so you can't fucking take the day off. So, I made a quick post on Reddit, just saying, I love BC. He was so great at like throwing a little controversial quip in there and riling everyone up forever.
Oh yes.
But I mentioned that he's in our Madden League, and he's gonna be in our Madden League for fucking ever. Like, we're not ever kicking him out. And I'm hoping Mrs. BC.
You guys are gonna make him into a trophy.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm hoping I can get Mrs. BC to play. She says she's not very good, but she's learning. So we'll hopefully keep that rolling. But
Jeff, just a pro tip on this. Don't take what she says as like, oh, I'm not a very good player.
I know. I got it.
She's
up the
gonna
ass by
wax your
the-
ass.
Last
She's
week,
she's gonna
beat me 7-0 at Rocket League. I had to make
There
her
you
play
go.
Grid 2 so I could beat her or something. Anyways,
We still need a ladies' Rocket League night with her.
that sounds awful.
Done.
You're not doing it.
Just
Good,
kidding.
Jeff.
Anyways, so
It would
I
be
make
so
a
much
quick
fun.
post on. I make a quick post. Go to my new job, and it sucked because I had to sit through like 4 hours of HR shit at the beginning. New job day, right? You'd sit there and you'd have safety briefings. The whole time we're just sitting silently in a meeting room. I've got nothing to think about with BC. It was a rough day, right? So all day I'm thinking, I should have done. I should have checked the league, right, and see if BC won his last game, because that'd be a nice thing to post. Like he went out and he lost it, or he won his last game, right? How touching. So just to let you guys know, in our league, right, we got a strict rule. You can only play each game once, okay? It's a league, so you can't fuck around. If you're losing, you can't quit and try again. Basically, you got to stick it out. So when I get home from work, I was actually super excited. I'm like, I'm gonna make this fucking post. It's gonna be amazing. And I check, and fucking BC had 4 starts and he lost by 10. The piece of shit. I was like, man, that is classic fucking BC. I ended up bursting in tears fucking again. Except this is kind of a little better because it's such a classic BC move. He tried it 4 times to lose at the end. Fuck, I'm really gonna miss that bad, man. Anyway, thanks. I just want to bust that out. That's a classic BC maneuver.
I
want to go ahead.
I was just gonna point to Sarah. We had Saragossa come in. She hasn't had a chance to say anything. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm okay. I probably won't say a lot, but I'm okay.
Okay, glad you're here.
Sarah's old school BC knower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was she was the one that put BC in his place when he was trying to talk shit or something. He'd be like, "No, let me tell you." She's like, "No, let me tell you, motherfucker."
Exactly.
She is like the only woman on Eve Radio that ever put BC in his place.
No, I don't want to say. Like.
No, Blades is the only woman.
But was certainly.
Well,
I can tell you right
Blades
now,
doesn't
was
count.
certainly the first in like TeamSpeak comms that I was ever in.
Yeah.
Okay, so PNG comms were rather interesting. I will say that.
But yeah, no, Sarah was definitely one of those ladies that could give as well as anybody else that I have ever met in this fucking game. But yeah, Rain, I want to ask you because you know what? God, I can't believe this is still 2016. Hold on, Rain's got to put it on. Can you hear me, Rain?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Speakers.
2016 has been a weird year. You came on last year for that. I believe it was the Christmas show that we did at the end of 2015.
New Year's was the first.
Well, that was the first. Oh, hey,
It was
welcome
the
to the
first
goddamn
show, I'm
Open
pretty sure.
Com show.
So yeah, so that was
I'm
my
glad
first
I missed
impression. That was my first impression of like Dirk and BC. Dirk was just like a drunk jerkhead, and like BC was so nice. He was like, "No, Dirk, don't be angry," and like no matter what you said to him, he was always like trying to make people calm. Like I remember there was one episode where him and I got into a fight, and it wasn't shown on air, but afterwards I like yelled at him. I was like, "BC, how could you say something like that to me?" And I freaked out, and he was super calm. Like he didn't realize like how much he offended me, but he was like, "Rain, I didn't mean it like that. Like that's not what I meant. Just calm down." And like looking back on it, like because everyone like that was the time I took a week off, and I was like, because I was
That's
so
what I said
pissed.
after New Year's. Oh my god, I didn't mean it like that. Is that the
Yeah,
way you took
yeah,
it?
but like that's how BC is. Like every time he says something, he doesn't really mean what he says. He has some other intention, but you just have to wait to see, like, because that's why he talks so much. You just have to wait to see what he means. Because if you just take like the first 1 or 2 sentences he says, he sounds kind of like a jerk. But it's not what he means. He just has like big heart, and he just has trouble putting it into words.
BC is the Jeff Rader to Dirk's Grath.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Possibly.
Sure.
But the question I really wanted to ask you was, okay, so since you came in that aftermath, okay, and you have been here and growing strong ever since. I don't know. I mean, like, what was it? What was it? How can you hang this long with this group? BC, me, any of us. I mean, whatever.
Honestly, if it was just you, Dirk, I probably wouldn't have stuck around after your first impression. But like, I mean, that was my first impression of you. Like, BC was so nice, and like, so was Drayden. Drayden, I give you credit, but like, BC was super nice. He's like, let's just help the viewers. Like, let's just keep going. Like, who cares whatever Dirk said? I don't like, who gives a fuck? Like, let's just keep going. But that's what it was. And then even because like everyone on the outside saw it as like drama, and like it was just bullshit drama. But like internally, like you and BC were so close, and like you were like, BC, I eventually want to come back. He's like, yeah, you can come back. Like, duh, that's not a problem. Like, it was never an issue for like the people in open comms. Everyone on the outside, I think, probably saw it as like, oh my god, there's this big blowout. It made like this video and all this and that. But no, it's like never an issue. And so it kind of shows how like close you guys were. How everyone was family.
And there's also like what after like almost every show, at least until I wasn't allowed to stream anymore. Like after the show, we'd all still be drunk and hanging out for like what, couple hours talking about whatever we had been talking about. Like none of us were mad. We're all just laughing at each other, whatever. Like it was always fun because nobody actually gave a shit past like as soon as everything was hung up, we're all like, hey, yay.
That's totally one of the
the way it
things
was.
That's
That
totally
was when
one.
it was fun.
Well, hold on. That is totally one of the things that I will say about BC. Okay, is that he was the epitome of whatever happened the night before is what happened the night before. Like every new day, fuck it. And to some extent, I'll say this: I think that's a guy thing more than anything else. Like you get your shit out and boom, that's it. It's done. There's no going back to it. But even for that level, he is the type of he was the type of person was the type of person to he did not fucking dwell on what happened yesterday.
Well, yesterday was 24 hours ago, and that's the thing. Yesterday was yesterday. Today is today, and tomorrow is whatever you want to make of it. And that, I'm gonna be frank, that's what BC, Jeff, that's what my friend said. He said, fuck it, we'll do tomorrow what we're going to do tomorrow. And today is the day. And if that means we've got to mine fucking 6 hours to get this belt up to level 4 or whatever, then fuck it, we can take a day off. Then fuck it, deuces, whatever. Or we go play this, or we go play that, or we just shoot the shit and talk about crap and listen to some good music. Because that's what he did. That is exactly what he did. He just basically made everyone happy without actually thinking that it was any fault of his own or any effort. He just did it. He radiated happiness. When
I remember
he radio comes.
I remember the first time I met EC. He wanted to see what I looked like. So he came down. Well, I made me came down to the radio show. Hang on one second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she apparently can't hear herself. Hold on.
Oh,
It's like echoing or something.
And that's why
I
she's
don't like-
talking like she's got some like verbal tick or some shit.
Oh.
I'm looking at her like, oh my god, woman, you've like had half
Yeah.
a beer. What the hell?
it's like,
Calm
yeah.
down.
Well, I really want to do, and then
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Swap headsets. Swap
No,
headsets.
you-
Can you hear me?
no, you're not gonna be able to hear yourself. Like you just
Just
speak.
talk. Just
Oh,
talk.
We can hear her.
I can.
Yeah,
Just-
we sound,
can hear
we
you,
hear
that's
you.
Just
all
talk
right.
about the
Oh,
headset.
Go
for
ahead.
God's
Just speak.
sakes.
Speak.
So anyway, he made me come
If I
downstairs,
push to talk, she
get
can
on
hear
the
herself.
radio, and then he quizzed me on this man. Wanted to know, is Dirk always like this? And I said, yeah. I said, I have to live with it. At least you have an off button.
Fucking savage.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the
God
thing.
damn.
No. You have an off
This
button.
is celebration
I
of
kind of-
BC. Don't fuck with Dirk Night.
Well, no. Just turn this into a tiny bit of fuck with Dirk Knight. Just a little bit.
It
for a
wouldn't
second.
be a show
But-
without
because-
fucking with you, Dirk.
Because I have a thing, right? Do something to Total Eve or to whatever, and Dirk goes, well, it could change to this or it could change to that. And I'm like, dude, I just changed it. And so change it this way, change it that way. And I'm like, dude, I don't do the web dev anymore. Someone else does it, or someone else does it. And it's like fucking it'll get done. Oh, it's not done now. Sort it out now. It's like tap, 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 done. But it's good. It works. And you know what? Hey, all good. And I just
She thinks
killed
it's
the
so hard to
conversation.
talk with
With
headphones
headphones
on,
on.
and somehow it like muffles like
Well-
I can't hear
it
myself.
muffles the voice in her head that's coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you've got TeamSpeak running, it does that. But if you've just got headphones on, it's like mirror. But
All right, they're calling for
I'm-
shots out there. So who wants to put up the next toast? Who wants to put up the next
I'll do
toast?
it. I'll do it.
All right, Wiggles is going to put up the next
All right.
toast.
To the guy that I met, well, I can't remember how long ago now, but he met because he was an Eve Radio DJ, and he wanted to do something that was being done, but wanted to do it in his own style, and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna have fun doing it, and I don't care if there's 5 people or no people or 3,000 million people watching me. I'm just gonna do it." This is to a friend of mine that I lost this week, and well, I'll see you soon, buddy.
Well, not too soon, fucking Wiggles. Jesus.
I know. We can only handle so much Wiggles.
I'm doing a CTP soon.
See you
soon
next week,
TM.
BC.
A soon
Soon
TM. Because it could be now, or it could be like, 50 years, or it could be 5 minutes. Because you never know. The planet could split, and we could be like, oh shit, we're going 2
Good.
different ways.
It could. Goddamn November
know-
8th
you know-
is coming quick. You don't know what's going to happen on November 9th.
You know, he's gonna when we all die and join him, he's gonna make us do a fucking show. You know that, right? That's what he'll do.
He'll be like, dude,
Which would be
I've been
fine, wouldn't
wait-
it? I mean,
Yeah.
like
dude,
seriously. I mean, it would be
he's like, I've
fine.
been waiting for this long. You gotta do this fucking show. I've got all this new content. There's new games out. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna kick the shit out of it. And you know what? Fuck it. I don't care.
'Cause God knows there'll probably be Eve in heaven. I mean, it's like, or hell, wherever it is you're going, they will probably have Eve. Just out of, I don't know, just making you keep with it, and you'll still be paying $15 a month or a Plex or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want all the features and everything.
I'm just gonna say. Oh no. Let me just check. Who's in this channel? 1, 2. Cypher, are you fan site status?
Yes.
The 3 people in this channel don't pay for their accounts. Brush your shoulders off. Let's do that. Yeah, no, really.
Yeah, the rest of us pay,
carry
bro.
on.
Anyways,
Yeah, I know.
Mrs. BC, are you still there?
Yes.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk?
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Talk to the people.
I
You got-
know,
hold
I'm,
on.
like,
Number
sitting
one, you
here
never
this
had
whole
any
time, like-
problem on any other time during any other show
is
or
true.
anything like that.
Oh yeah, like this is no big deal.
These
you
are
know,
the
just a
same
show.
people.
I've been sitting
Yeah.
here this whole time like saying things in my head, but nothing sounds right. So I'm just
Can you believe the outpouring from this community?
fuck, dude. Like it's amazing, fucking amazing.
Despite the fact that I have been, you know what? I remember back when Vile Rat got killed. I remember back when Photon Torpedo got killed, out in San Bernardino. I remember being part of, you know what? Somebody from our community has passed. Is there some way that we can step up as a community and help them out? It was never this close to me. And yet I saw what they did then, and I'm still shocked now. I'm not surprised by the fact that I know that there are people out there. I know this is what we do. But I was still shocked now.
Yeah, it's not even just the fucking money, which is like holy shit, amazing, will help me so much, but it's all the freaking words that I'm reading from everyone that it's just blowing me away.
That's the thing that's been getting me the past couple days. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what? When you Skyped me the other night and you said that he had died, I'm sitting there, I'm laying on my couch, I'm watching TV, I'm just trying to recover from Eve Vegas. And I see this stuff less than 24 hours after I get home, and I see that and I rush to my computer. I'm like, oh my God, let me catch her on Skype. Let me get, let me talk to her. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, what can I do? All right, the first thing I can do, I can set up a GoFundMe. But you know what, people? For all of you out there who think that it's like fucking easy to set up a GoFundMe, and I don't mean technically, I mean writing up the thing, okay? Which made me had to draw on kind of my thoughts and feelings with BC. And then after I got done with that, writing up the piece that I put out there, at that point, it was just like pouring out of me, and I had to keep from writing more than what it was I was going to do. And then after doing that, after letting out what I had inside myself, reading what people were giving back, not only did I sit there and say to myself, holy shit, the people, what I gave of myself, and then what they were throwing back, the fact that my friend had died, but not just that, I'm reading these kind thoughts, and it was like destroying me for the last 3 days. And I kept forwarding it to you, and not as a means of oh, hey, look at what the Eve community is doing, as a way of making you cry or tear up or anything like that, but more as, you know what, this is what this community is capable of.
Yeah, it was the first night, right when it was late at night, and Dirk came into the TeamSpeak, and he pulled me up, and he just unloaded the news on me. Like it wasn't like he didn't beat around the bush. He's like, bam, this happened. And I was like, it was so shocking that I guess I was a little numbed on it at first, because it took me a while to process it, and I went to bed, and then the next day is when it actually hit me. That it was like, okay, no, I wasn't like that happened last night. This is real. And then I was reading all the Twitter comments, and it's like overnight, like from when I went to bed and to when I woke up, there was so much posted. I mean, you had that picture from Rick Javix that was just like that was a heart tugging picture. I mean, that was a great picture.
Oh God, yes.
The winter picture, how simple that was, right?
Yeah. Just it had a message that it conveyed, and it was beautiful. And then all the Twitter comments, I went and looked at the GoFundMe, and I was reading all the comments on the GoFundMe. I've been going back there, daily, and just reading all the new stuff that people have posted. And also the candle thing on the monument in Iceland, Max Singularity that set up, and they had a guy from the National Guard in Iceland go and put the candle up there. I mean, that all that stuff is just so touching that it's like it's just.
Yeah, I need to pull the image of that up.
And I'm not even I'm not a part of Eve. I'm way
of course you are.
away from.
Yes,
well,
you are.
You know what I mean.
No,
you
you're
are.
always on our stream. Whether you're
very
bringing
much
him
are.
Taco Bell or not, it's okay. You're a part of it.
But I don't know the ins and outs and what all the things mean and all that stuff. But when I saw the candle, I was like, "Fuck, dude!"
I know.
No.
I didn't even know that existed.
No.
What, the monument or the candle?
No. The candle lighting thing that they have done for some other Eve players who have passed away.
You linked that to me, and I was like, shit. And the thing is, I normally go on the forums and check stuff like that, and I didn't check. I'd done the Reddit, I'd done Facebook, I'd done Twitter, I'd done the stuff around there and got the social media out there. And I've done as much as I can. And the fact that today we've had Brendan Drain from Massively, and we also had the other one,
Eurogamer.net.
Eurogamer put an article out as well. The fact is, this is an outpouring of grief, but happiness and joy for a fellow, community member and friend of ours. We're celebrating his life, his accomplishments and things. And yes, it's sad, but it's also a happy time. And this is the thing. I've been to wakes in my life. One wake I remember I went to when someone died. We went to an underground bar in central London called Gossips. It's there still, but it's not called anything else. And the bar was free all night long. And most people got completely wasted, but a few people that knew the person, and it was a guy who died. We didn't get overly drunk. We just had a drink, and we remembered that person, and that was the same sort of thing. And it's you remember the good times, and you just have fun, and you just remember what's been going on and how things have been. And that's the thing, and the thing that's going to hit me is I'm never going to sit in a TeamSpeak server or wherever and just hear Jeff turn up and go, you know what's going on, losers? Because that was his opening line. What's going on, losers? And that was it. It's never going to hear it again.
No, what's up, bitches?
Well, there was what's up, bitches, or what's going on, losers. It was two, and that's the thing. It was those sort of things that happen, and it's just those things that now it's
whatever. We'll find another BC. God damn it.
Plenty.
Do you want me to make a sock puppet? I'll make a sock puppet if you want. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now.
Eve is actually a pretty big game. There has to be a guy just like him out there somewhere that we haven't met yet.
Look, I've got a sock puppet. There you go. Look, there's my sock. I've got a sock puppet.
So we talked about the Sino, or not the Sino, the candle, and in game on Wednesday because I couldn't stand being at work. So I came home, I grabbed a hauler, filled it with liquid ozone, and just sat in Amamake with the Sino. And I had a lot of people come by and hang out with me. And I think towards the end of the night, we all ended up in haulers. And we were just kind of stationed outside. It was a Keepstar that we were sitting at, the Hydra Keepstar. And we were all sitting there with Sinos because that's kind of what EVE players do. Instead of a candle in real life or a vigil, people will come together and they'll do a Sino or they'll do bubbles and something along those lines, which is just like a little glowing thing of light in space for Mrs. Big Country. So we were doing that, and I think towards the end of the night, before all the guys logged off, someone took control of the Amamake Keepstar and then doomsdayed us, which just caused so it caused a big chain of light to go around all of our ships because we weren't tethered. So I think Drayden actually caught the video of that. I know I was in bed.
Yeah. Casper24 he's like, I'm about to go to bed. Can I doomsday all of the Sinos just for like a final? Yeah, I was like, do it, man. Everyone else, I think, was AFK. I'm like, hopefully no one's in anything expensive that they weren't expecting to lose because I just kind of gave the go-ahead to like have us all get killed. But I think there was one guy in a Gnosis, but I think he left before the end. I think that was I forget who said that. But all right, so I could put the video on there. It's short. It's like 40 seconds.
How did nobody come shoot you in Amamake? I mean,
So that was the thing. So like I had mentioned to Casper because I just messaged him privately. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be in Amamake Sinoing. So he kind of told all the regulars of Amamake, and so we'd just be out there. There'd be like a handful of us Sinoing, and the moment someone would warp to us to shoot us, they would immediately like undock and go and kill them. And so one of us would lose maybe a Sino ship or two, but for the most part, it was all of us. Like you can see, I think we had 10. Was the highest I counted.
It took me a while to find the Sino because when he's like, yeah, can I DD you? I was expecting from a Titan. I didn't know he was going to do it from the Citadel. So I was like, where's the Titan? I was looking for it. Eventually, I'm like, oh, the Citadel Sino.
Yeah.
So he hit us all with it.
And then if you don't know, if you Sino for so long, eventually the Sino light actually disappears. So all you can see is
you can see the Sinos in that one, but.
Well, really, if you keep lighting a Sino over and over again,
like when you first light it, the actual animation shows up. But if you leave it on cycled where it keeps going, it goes out, and then you just get like just the bracket of it, and that's it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So at the end of the night, it's like you couldn't see any Sinos, but they were all there.
CCP needs to work on.
Yeah, Drayden just showed it, and I know he's gonna send me the link, and
I'll give you. I just don't want to do it in Skype because it'll like shift all the cameras everywhere. But
yeah, so we can figure out how to like put it up on YouTube or something.
Can you link files in TS?
Of course you can.
No,
You put it in the file browser.
What I will say is this: is the fact that a lot of games that you play out there, you don't play in. Number one, they're not the types of games where you develop relationships, where you develop like kind of knowing people. Other than maybe all-star players or something like that. But here is a game that has been, and Falcon kind of put it best, I think, when in the Massively article today. When you have a game that's been around this long, we're actually going to come across players that we have dealt with and whatnot who pass away for one reason or another. I mean, when you have a game that's been around 13, 14 years, chances are over time, you're going to have some of those people who, for whatever reason, hell, God knows, in Eve, old age, all right, but even for other, more tragic or sudden, reasons that pass away. This is something different about Eve. It's something different about this game we play than maybe other games we play. I don't know anybody who ever died in Farming Simulator. I mean, I just don't.
Now,
no.
I mean, not
The people
that
that
that's
died
like
in
an online
Farming
game or
Simulator,
whatever, but, you know.
the Farming Simulator people died were Mexicans or Puerto Ricans or Polish.
Yeah,
or
but I would
whatever.
even fucking mourn them. Like, if I knew that they were also playing, you know what I mean? It's like,
Wow, this is getting very Brexit there.
no.
yeah, jeez.
I'm just saying
no,
that
I'm not going to talk about Brexit.
with this game, okay, that right now is, 13, 14 years old, all right, and is destined to become significantly older, all right? Now, I don't know what that means in, like, online gaming years or anything like that, but this is not the last time that we will come across this.
Oh, definitely.
And that is very odd for a video game.
Well, this is it. It's a video game. And again, I've said this on This Week in New Eden, whatever show you and me and Dirk have done, whether it be, a stupid Thursday night show or a Wednesday show or whatever, we've done it. It's a video game. But you've got to remember that things that bond around video games are friendships, whether they be just a general friendship where you talk to someone in game or out of game or whatever like that, or you get to know someone, whether it be romantic or a deep-seated friendship or things like that. They're friendships, and that's the difference. That's what Eve does. It brings people together. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. Eve is the biggest fucking social experiment outside of Facebook that has worked and actually focused people. And it works. It's amazing.
Well,
and it does that sort of thing.
Well, it's not just the game itself. It's the adaptation of, like, now you have, like, video calls and you have, like, the Twitch thing, you have TeamSpeak, and so it's not just people typing to each other in a chat thing anymore. Now it's like people actually conversing and seeing each other face to face on a daily basis, even for years at a time. And it's like, even though you're not in person, like physically right next to them, it's still a connection enough that it goes beyond just an online acquaintance. It actually becomes a friendship.
Well, exactly. This is the thing.
I mean, it's not a friend you can go, like, hang out at their house every day, but at the same time, it's almost like the same thing.
Rainer McLean, prep your shot toasts. Both of you are, one of you are on deck.
And not to cut you off again, Wiggles, but also someone I haven't seen in a while that also was a good friend of BC's. He was in our court for long. Giles Navarian showed up. Giles, what's up, man?
Shit, Giles, where you at?
Giles.
Giles,
showed
get
up.
yeah. The
Another
thing is,
Brit.
right? Another Brit, definitely. The thing is, right, with BC, right? Back when I was in Spec, before I was in Spectre, actually, before I was in S3, when me and BC were the only people in his corp. Dirk, when we used to live in SH1 and you used to live over the other side of the Drone Regions.
6-Tech WMKE.
Yes, exactly. The fact is that we used to mine that shit every day, and I would come home from work, log on, and literally 5-10 minutes later, BC would log on and like, how you doing? Yeah, cool, work good? Good, right, let's do this. We'd mine what we needed to do to get the levels up, get the mining, so if we didn't have to mine for a couple of days, we could do this, whatever. We jump it over, we do this, we do this. Is
Because we were the
days.
working poor, man.
This was it. It's the fact that you were over there building the supers and we were building the shit and we were just selling the shit to you and you were doing the stuff and we were making the money. Put it this way, this was back when Plexus was 600 mil.
Actually, before that. But which one of you guys is doing the? Because we got to stay on time here. We are now, the 10 o'clock Eastern time, 1 hour into this mark. You got this, McLean? Go.
I got this. So this is kind of a classic right here, but I got a little twist on it. May the
Did
road
you just Google
rise.
this?
Kind of. I didn't remember it offhand. Although I probably should, so I feel bad. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, send me some fucking Tito's, you asshole.
You friggin' Nick.
By the way, don't tell my girlfriend I just had another shot. He's in the bedroom.
Well,
2
how are we
sides
going to
that way.
tell her that slanted wall you have is there?
Yeah.
No, it's this wall, then another wall, and another wall, and about
so
4
she'll never
walls
know,
that way.
bro.
Oh,
3 walls and women don't know.
And you wanted a 20-second heads up, and then you left the room for a quickie or something. So I was like, all right, the show must go on.
Then I left the room to take a piss, went to see her. She said, are you drunk? I went, I'm not drunk. She said, you've been drinking? I went, how much? I went, half a bottle. She went, no more. I went, maybe. I don't know.
Giles Navarian, you there?
Go for it.
I am.
I am. What brings you
Well-
here so late? Because you are a UK brother.
Well, obviously I tuned in for this, but I was going to come at the start, and then I watched your intro thing, and I'd been holding it together. I read your Skype message that you put in on the day after, and as I was going into work, and it hit pretty hard, gulped it down, and then I didn't really feel too much until I watched that thing, and I was destroyed. I couldn't speak. I think I've got it together now.
I don't know, man. I want to make you choke up. I want to make you cry.
Well,
We can play the bagpipes again.
Although I'm not sure what the hell I could say that would like make you cry before I cried. So it's like
I was gonna say,
it would
I
be
won't-
self-defeating. I would be like a fucking a crying kamikaze at that point.
I won't say anything about that. That'll help.
Giles was one of those guys, Inspector Syndicate, AAC before that, back in the day, before we merged and whatnot, who was like, again, hours and hours on end, with BC in game. I think that he's one of those people that experienced the highs, as well as the fucking lows and all that kind of stuff. And I wish Jody is here. Jody McPherson, our German friend.
This is the thing. There's I hate that. Jody, I love you, right? Yeah. Jody, you there?
Sure.
Because you know my name, don't you?
German.
He's the German Jody. I'm the UK Jody. That's the difference.
Yep.
Eve is a great game for what? It doesn't matter where you live, okay? It doesn't matter what time zone you play, because there's so many out of work people from across the fucking world and all that kind of stuff. You meet so many people in this game that you develop these connections. BC and I developed these connections long ago, but we were quite lucky to have met people like Jody and Giles and all of these other people that are here right now in the TeamSpeak with us.
Yeah, we're just missing Daniel and Hacko, and it's like the OG crew would be back in play.
Oh, shit.
Elise.
Jagger Yak Yodes.
Elise, is Grath really here?
I don't know. I assume so.
really-
Yeah, look
I
at
really
the board.
Grath,
shit.
Grath,
Oh,
would
shit.
you
Better
give us
late
some
than never,
words of
yo.
wisdom?
Hold on,
We
hold
need
on,
some
hold on.
words
Click.
of wisdom from Grath
Oh,
Telkin, because I swear to
FC
God,
break,
Grath,
FC
you
break.
based on your Skype the
Prayer.
other day, I swear
Prayer.
you cried.
It's
Do
Reverend
the
Grant
prayer.
Telkin. Reverend. You have
Do
to use
the
his
prayer.
proper title.
What? I'm a fucking atheist. I'm
Do the
not
You're a
praying.
reverend now.
I
No,
was
you
trying
gotta
to
be a
open up the
reverend.
show with a prayer from
Just
the
call it
Reverend
DK
Grath
Talks.
Telkin. I didn't want to hear you.
So yeah, I just stopped by to make sure. I've been where BC's wife is, and I just want to make sure you're okay. And you sound like you are in good company.
No, they would have.
Hey, you know how to get a hold of my girlfriend, so she's already spoke to you and stuff. So if you need anything, you just let us know, and I will move heaven and earth to make it happen for you. Okay? And that's it.
Thank you very much. I'm hanging in there.
I hear it. I mean, you sound like you're doing okay. You don't sound angry. I was super fucking
No,
mad for
not
about a
yet.
year and a half. So yeah,
Probably
and it's
not
okay to
yet.
get mad. If you get mad, get mad. Fuck everybody, right? It's your right.
It'll be all Dirk's fault. It's okay.
Yeah, you get especially mad at Dirk.
Is that anything?
I approve of
I'm-
this message.
I'm gonna say, Mrs. McGurk, you know that the fact that is all Dirk's fault, even if it's your fault. You know, fuck it, it's Dirk's fault. Done, finished. He burnt the grilled cheese. It's Dirk.
Everything's Dirk's fault.
I think the thing
Yeah,
I'm going to miss
exactly.
most is
People will hold
the
this
game
against
that
me.
I was supposed to play BC in 2 games in Madden, and he was like a guaranteed win for me in a otherwise really shit season that I've thrown 23 interceptions in. I was seriously
Dude,
looking
he
forward to it.
sucked
How
at
have you
that
guys
game.
handled that? Are you like anybody who plays a
He
game?
I love
loves that
playing
game
Night
though.
Boss?
BC would always come in here and
No,
talk about
he-
FIFA, whatever stupid sports game that was,
That
and
was
he
Madden.
loved it so
I
much.
think Jeff intends to put him
Oh,
in
he
permanent
loves
vacation
playing,
mode or
but
something,
he's
which is
sucks.
fine. I don't know what
So-
that means for our game. If I have to let him win this one, I'm down. It's fine.
No, I told somebody else. I don't remember names. Sorry. That I like playing it and I was learning. I still suck, so I'll probably be just as good as BC. So You can beat me.
Yeah, you can totally play. You can totally play a spot if you want to, as long as you think you can keep up with the games. I'm down. Otherwise, I'm going to complain at you like I'd complain at anybody else. Play your fucking Madden game, please.
Go for it. You gotta remind me.
Typical Grath.
Yeah.
You have to get on OG and shit it up in his place.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's got that saved. If you ever feel like you want to come, like it's Friday or Saturday, and you just need a place to hang out, there's usually at least 15 or 20 of us on there. And if you can stand the conversation, or if the people's voices just give you comfort, stop by.
Are you going away?
Only thing I can't
Or you can
stand
just-
about what was
you can- you know.
he always
Hey,
on
Dirk.
Rumble or something?
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Dirk.
Dirk, stop keying up.
I'm
The
gonna-
seed actually
Hold
is
on.
your fucking fault.
Oh, there we go. Go.
See?
Oh my god. Miss McGurk saved us.
He's always on what is it called? Is it Mumble or something?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
where
OG Mumble.
everyone's talking all at once. Oh my god. I used to yell at him about that shit. It was so fucking annoying. I'm like,
Don't worry,
how do
we
you
yell at him
even
too.
You get
stand
used
it?
to it.
Oh my god, it's so annoying.
If you're ever in the market for watching a movie, just join fucking Jeff on OG, and you can watch all the movies you want.
Yeah,
Nice.
sure. Like, yeah, they especially
Yeah.
Friday and
Well, it
Saturday night
depends on
movie
the
nights.
type of
They
movies,
might not
doesn't
be
it,
good
really?
movies though. I can't promise. They watch Sharknado like it's a religion.
Oh, man, I haven't seen the new
Jeff,
one.
Jeff, no, seriously, to Drayden, you own this team. Can you kick? Can really Sharknado?
Hey,
Really?
no, I'm not gonna kick anyone for watching
All of
Sharknado.
them.
I like
No,
those
no, no.
shows.
I couldn't even get a chubby to that. I really couldn't.
I
get
saw the
half
three.
chubby
I
to
haven't
that.
seen the
Bro,
fourth
you
one.
can't get a chubby. You should be able to get a chubby to anything.
I know Tara Reid likes him
him
because
doctor.
it's the only thing keeping her
Sometimes
crackhead career afloat. But
Yeah.
Let's not discuss your chubby problems now. I don't feel like it's an appropriate time or place.
So I've sent the TeamSpeak out to a few people in case they want to come on and share stories. Just so you guys know.
Hey,
we
whatever,
got space
you know
for
what I mean?
12 more people in my economy TeamSpeak, so we got room.
Well, I just want to say to the people that are listening to this on either podcast form and you're listening to it before Sunday, we're going to be doing the same fucking thing kind of on Sunday. And there's a special
But with
going on
coffee.
Eve Radio with coffee. Well, coffee for Dirk. Me, I don't know what I'm going to have. Something. We're playing
Your English,
BC's
it will be
first
coffee.
ever show on Eve Radio because we keep fucking everything. So
Yeah. Blaze is that way.
Really?
Well, no, it's not Blaze, it's Gaz, but whatever. His first ever show is going to be played in its entirety. There's a couple of breaks in it because at the time he had cow internet, and if you don't know what cow
Oh my
internet
god,
is,
you remember the microwave fucking internet he had?
Yes.
That's what it was. It was like,
That was
oh shit, a cow was.
awful.
Yeah, no, seriously, Megan, you know how bad it was. A cow would go.
I lived it.
Literally, you lived it. The cow would go between you and the tower, and the internet would drop. It was gone. That was it. It was dead.
They
It was
literally
like
had
amazing.
I believe it was microwave internet. Okay,
Yes,
and like,
yeah,
and if
that's
she was
exactly what it
popping corn out in the fucking kitchen, okay, doing popcorn in the kitchen in the microwave, it was like his internet would go to shit.
Yeah. The thing is, we're playing his first ever show out at midday GMT, so 12 o'clock, which is fuck me. Well, midnight.
12 o'clock
Pacific,
UTC?
Yeah, 12 o'clock UTC.
So that's
midnight
minus
Pacific.
4. It's minus 4
minus
Eastern,
8.
minus 7
So 2 a.m.
Pacific. So
It's minus 8 actually because you go back on Sunday.
oh, it's daylight savings this Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, public
so
service
it's-
announcement for those listening in the United States. Sunday
Yeah.
night is when we fall back an hour.
Okay, so it'll be minus 5 and minus 8.
No, I don't know how this
So,
stuff works.
Go out
Do you know
tonight.
what? Do you know what?
I'm
Why
sorry,
do we
go out
still do that
tomorrow night and
archaic
party,
bullshit?
And you may get an extra hour. at
Do you know
your
what?
Oh
I'm gonna
wait,
say
that's right.
this-
You're from Arizona, aren't you, Panda?
I'm going to say
yeah,
this right
but I just moved.
To where?
I'm
Where
going
do
to
you
say
live
this
now?
right now.
I'm
Michigan.
in Michigan.
I'm going to become
Right. So at 2
president.
o'clock, it becomes 1 o'clock, and you get to have 2 o'clock again.
I'm going to be
Okay, that's
president of the
sweet.
world, right? And president of the world outlaws daylight savings time because it's a fucking outdated concept from over 100
All right,
years ago
I
from the
interrupt
First World
this
War.
rant about fucking daylight
Yeah.
savings time to call a shot.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
So that's
that makes
yeah,
Rain the Rain
The
Rain
shot
is
caller.
the
Barge
current
in like an
toaster on
asshole.
board.
I'm the who?
Like, what time do you
You're
get
the
up right
toaster
now,
on deck.
Panda? Like in the
You're
morning,
the toaster on deck.
generally speaking. That's a weird question, but what time do you wake up in the morning right
Hold on,
now?
headphones have been transferred.
Holy
Rain is
shit.
gonna.
Serious business.
Hold on, wait for it. Serious fucking
All right,
business.
so So this is to BC, and I've looked at his kill board to try and figure out what ship I should fly in remembrance of him. And instead, all I remember is that he would show up in fucking battleships to Panda's frigate fleets. And one time he brought a rook to my solo PvP, and that just shows how much he just wanted to support everyone. He always went above and beyond everything that he did. And this goes to BC.
Joke's on you. Now he brings frigates to battleship fleets.
Yeah.
Frigates for life.
BC's got tackle. I don't got tackle on this, bro.
The absolute worst thing is, for some reason or another, my monitor that has my Skype video on it and my TeamSpeak and like everything related to this show right now is just bouncing around as a black screen at the moment.
Turn it off. Turn
Means
it
your
back
video
on.
card's gonna explode.
I've tried turning it off and turning it back on.
Let me do from the IT crowd. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Yes.
Chris
Yes, I have.
Check and make sure all the cables are properly plugged in.
Now my wife is saying, "Have you hit this key?" and starts reaching for it, and I just kind of have to slap her hand away.
Have you tried doing this? No, bitch, I've done it. Fuck off. I know what I'm doing. I can
So
computer.
whatever. I'm in the blind. I know that this is the ghost of BC going, "Fuck you. You can't see what everybody's saying out there. You can't see what they're doing." But whatever. I've got Twitch chat
Okay.
up on another screen. And
Just so you know, we've
yeah.
got 16 people in here with TeamSpeak. We've currently got, what have we got on Eve Radio? I'll tell you.
There's CCP Alpha.
Well, there's
Where's
Alpha.
CCP Alpha?
He will see
We've
my
got-
message.
No,
We've got-
CCP Alpha is now in chat. CCP Alpha, how are you, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, it's been a while. Didn't think I will show up at the show, in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you came by. Glad you
Hey.
came by because you are definitely somebody from BC's past. No question about that. You were totally part of. I'm trying to read Twitch chat. I should stop
Hold on. Are
doing
you
that.
saying he's someone from BC's past? The fact that he used to say, "Fuck the
He
rent's
was
fucked up." Can
he
we
was
sort
the
it out?"
as BC would call, he was the slumlord.
He was our
he was the
rent
landlord.
overlord back during
Yeah.
Shadow of XF days.
And no matter how many times you told BC it's crew toy, he's like, no, it's croutage.
Croutage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crouton. It's crouton. No, it's croutage. It's croutoy.
Croutons,
crouton.
lettuce
It was always
dressing, and
crouton.
croutoy.
Yeah, it
This
was
is
always
the thing.
crouton to BC.
This is the thing. Now, my girlfriend's Bulgarian, so I speak, Bulgarian, and Cyrillic is a standard alphabet. It's standard pronunciations. I showed her it, and she went, "Yeah, it's this." And I went, "But my mate said this." He went, "No, he's fucking wrong." And I went, "But he can't be wrong." And no, he's wrong. I went, "He's texting." She went, "Nah, he can't be wrong." Or whatever. That was literally it. It was like, yeah, say what you fucking want. It was so.
But CCP Alpha, thank you for coming by.
No problem. Well, this brings me back. I mean, you probably remember when I first started taking part in the Eve Radio show that he was doing back in the day. Was quite regularly there back then until the show kind of moved to Metani.com and I got really busy working for CSP. So I was trying to participate still in Twitch, but yeah, it didn't come on comms for quite some time.
Yeah, I remember it.
BC always been fun to talk to for sure on the comms, and we had a lot of laughs and reminiscing about the old days. And he would ask me questions, obviously, about work when I was CCP, and yeah, it was fun to listen to his rants about things. Sometimes the way of trivial matter, but they really grinded his gears.
This is the thing. I remember.
How much
those
do I owe
rants.
you this week? Are you serious? I must work longer.
Our rates were pretty standard even when we raised them.
Actually,
This is the
back
thing.
when we were renters, totally the fucking rents were they were reasonable. All of a sudden, people started to actually determine what the value of a system could be if you worked 40 hours a week. I swear to God, that shit happened when PL and NC Dot moved in.
You're welcome.
It makes me think of that scene from Grandma's Boy when they're talking to the landlord. He's like, you no pay me for 3 months. You no pay me rent, so I kick you out. It's like, no. I keep paying you all this money. It's like, you forgot smoking lamp. Throws the-
Hey,
So
don't
bad.
forget the 2010.
I remember that. I was
So
there.
was.
I would, you know, I'm gonna say, you know what? This is the fact that from the back of the Eve, I was there. I was actually fucking there.
And I remember like starting that whole campaign to do all that sort of stuff to sort of become like the slumlord landlords that we knew we could be. And we were just playing it by ear, and then we just kind of put some structure to it. And that's how I originally came across you guys. Like, it's completely weird that just trying to become a slumlord in a video game introduced me to like not only
People who
podcasting,
lived
but
in
streaming.
slums.
Yeah, oh yeah. Obviously.
But we didn't
But,
even
like, it introduced
consider
me
it
to this
slums
side.
back
These
then
are the
because
people
the
you're
Russians
putting
were
in
fair.
ghettos, at least.
When PL and NC Dot came in, that's when they turned it into this whole new enterprise.
Well,
It was like Trump moved into town.
Called
Well,
public
that's how
housing,
Pure Blind
please.
was back in the day too. It was the
I can't
slums.
agree with this. They didn't reinvent the wheel, Dirk. They just picked it
I'm
up
t-
and made
They
it
did.
shinier.
They like brought in the mathematicians
Put the
and
wheel
said,
in
you
a
know
rim."
what, this asteroid is worth this if you mine it over the course of 6 hours. They came out with this entire calculation of this system is worth X.
Yeah,
If
and at the end of
this
it,
level
after
of
we designed
effort
that whole
is put
system,
in.
we had an Eastern European come in and fixed it.
Yeah, it was a Swedish like sort of pseudo banker that did all that. You can thank him for that. You can
Terrible.
thank
He
you.
was like, you're not charging near enough money for all this.
Exactly.
But yeah,
And what was weird was that like the drone regions back before all that, it was this place where nobody wanted to come to. Like the only people that wanted to live there were renters, and like your average just ratter did not want to live there because there was extra effort associated with it.
Doug,
Once they
can I
turned
say
that shit
something?
over and got rid of the drone alloys and shit like that, it turned into, because of Dominion sovereignty, it turned into this place that, well, shit, as long as you can hold the sovereignty, you can rent this out and tax it at the highest level
Can I s-
possible.
Can
Yeah,
I
so
say
we were like the
something
Donald Trump of Eve. We
Can
came
I
in,
say
we built
something
high-rise
before
condos and let
allo-
you guys move in.
Before the changes of alloys to bounties and when it was just ISK, plush and glossy, that was what you hoarded. That was literally what you did from the level 4s and possibly the level 5s. That was what made you your bank. That was what paid your Plex for the next month. That is literally what I sold to you and to Jita, because people were paying 45 and 64k or whatever a unit, and that was what made the fucking game work. Well, not as a game worth playing, but made the fact that you went out, you did it for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and you had enough for your entire month subscription. And that is what made it. And then you just fucked off. And it was like, right, you know what? I'm going to do, anomalies for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, earn a couple of billion. And then I'm going to take hurricanes and battleships and whatever and just fucking smash them into the enemy and have fun drinking or talking or whatever with friends, because that's what you fucking did. It was fun. It was, it was a giggle. That's all I've got to say.
Here's the funny thing about Eve, though, right? I mean, I started playing Eve when I was like 13, so we're talking 11, 12 years ago now. So if you told me that I'd be sitting the other side of the Atlantic right now on TeamSpeak doing this, it's an incredible community, and we celebrate together. So Eve Vegas is really, every Eve event around the world, regardless of where it is a celebration of the community at the end of the day. And within your own kind of groups within Eve, you go to different things in people's lives. People go through marriages, divorces, and you're part of that. You're part of their lives. There's no difference between them being friends online and friends in real life. There's no barrier there, regardless of what people outside of Eve think. I mean, you see, like, there's this thing as well where Eve is, as an Eve player, you are to video gamers what video gamers are to normal people, right? But you have that level of the community that a lot of other games just don't have. And we celebrate together. We travel around the world to meet each other. The older players in the community are gonna be super familiar with that. Over the years, we dropped the ball a few times. So you see things like what we referred to earlier with TCP and Membership and the way that went down. The community really dropped the ball on that. And then now we celebrate together, we mourn together as well, and that's exactly what you see here. We saw it with Valrat, and that will continue forevermore, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
to that point, I think Rockets just said it the best of anyone here, and Dirk touched on it earlier today. And I've been trying to come up with a way to say it, but every time I say it in my head, I just have to stop halfway through.
Well, it's the first thing I've said in the last hour, so.
But I grew up playing Eve, man. Like, I became like a man while playing Eve. I remember I was 20 years old in college.
You were
with a
literally a
gigantic
Poffney
fucking
back then.
CRT,
Oh, fuck me, he's not a Poffney.
just
Literally
running
wearing
like
tight t-shirts.
level 3 missions or some shit, doing just retarded hood rat stuff. And I just started playing this game randomly for some reason. I don't even remember why now. And I kind of got sucked into it. And as a young man in college, I was getting wedding invites to people who had no business getting married, but that's a different thing anyways. And I was like, I was having a good time as a young man. And I met Vile Rat when I was on the CSM with him. And that was like the first time when he died. Like, that was the first time I had to deal with someone close to me like that. That wasn't like an elderly family member or a second uncle that I didn't really deal with. That was the first time that I had to deal with loss, right? And Eve sort of set the stage for how someone should react to something like that and how they treat the mourning process and just the level of class that they do with it, right? And it is just so humbling that like 6 years later, 4 years later or something, that I get to see like a new batch of young men growing up in Eve sort of learning the same way how to deal with mourning and stuff like that I had to deal with. And it just goes to show how great the community of Eve can be and how it's more than just a game. It's more than just a whole bunch of people shooting your spaceships and dumb shit like that. It's a really good sort of platform for growing up in this really, really weird way.
Should people grow up like this though? At least.
No, yes, absolutely.
Are we sure?
Yes.
You learn
Like,
a lot. Future of
I
the world.
mean, like I say, I've been playing Eve for so long now. I've played Eve for literally almost half my life, and it's been a big part of who I am today as a person in real life and in game. And I wouldn't trade that for anything.
You didn't get anywhere in Eve without developing some form of social skills.
All right. I was gonna ask Max Singularity if he wanted to come on, but he said he can't. But he wanted me to read this. So this is from Max Singularity. He says, "This community is the best and hard for non-gamers and many gamers to understand. We all keep our poker face when playing, but afterwards we're all friends, and it hurts our hearts when we lose one of us. Do me a favor and read this. This community." Oh, wait. Did he just? Oh, okay. Sorry, he posted it twice. But yeah, so that was from Max.
Just read it again. Whatever. It's Max Singularity.
Okay, I'll read it again.
It's hard on
This
that.
community is the best and hard for non-gamers and many gamers to understand. We all keep our poker face when playing, but afterwards we're all friends, and it hurts our hearts when we lose one of us.
Hey, read it again.
He didn't post it a third time. It's gone. Thank you, Max. And then Jim J says he wants to give a Rorqual out, so I will do a drawing.
Oh.
But he wants to.
Well, we all know what that means these days.
Yeah. I don't.
Hey, Drayton?
Yeah.
I'll give out a Plex.
Okay. Well, I'll do some drawings.
I just think the fucking BC died. Everybody's giving shit away.
No,
stuff.
no,
You can do
but
that, like,
why
next
not?
week. Well, no, you can. I mean, I'm just saying it. Like, it takes a little bit of time.
I know.
All right.
But I just want to, throw that Drayton so he knew. I can give away a Plex.
All right, I got
In your
this.
Plex,
Alright,
you
I'm
can give
gonna
away. What's
post the
up?
GoFundMe. He wants to draw attention to the GoFundMe though, if anyone wants to support BC's family.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't actually brought that up tonight. I have posted it out there, and I'm gonna post it. Let's see
Okay,
if
I was
still
just gonna
have
go with the link,
access.
but if you got a link
got it.
ready, post it.
I linked it.
Nope. So if you just linked it out there, look. This show has asked for things on a number of times. Okay, we've asked for in-game charities. When something that we thought was relevant came up out of game, we would ask you guys. But very rarely do we sit there and like ask you to reach into your pockets and whatnot. I'm gonna say this: BC's family could use your help. If you have not already thrown in, which so many of you have as of this point. I mean, when I put the $1,500 mark out there, I didn't know what dollar amount to attach to it. Okay, I did not want to put $150,000 like I was fucking kickstarting a goddamn book or some shit. All right, I did not know what dollar amount to put out. I put 1,500 out there just as a, you know what? If we can help a fallen Capsuleer, let's do so.
So look,
I've not updated it since then because you know what? As far as I'm concerned, whatever we can collect is what we can collect. I would have left it at 0 and just waited to see what we could collect. But if you can help out, please do so. Please.
maybe like if you don't understand necessarily why, when my wife passed, I had 3 little girls that I was like suddenly with nowhere to go, and there is a mountain of things that she is now solely responsible for. So, and you can't possibly even like, yeah, you can't even fathom what her morning is like now and her night is like. So any help that she can get from anywhere at all, she's going to need maybe daycare, sitters, people to help with kids, people to help with just the most simple tasks now that like, so any help and like that you can give is great. Even that, and that's why I think you live in like Illinois. I'll offer you my time, or like if she needs something fixed on your house, I will come and I will fix it.
This is the thing, right? My other half, she has a daughter. She lives with her.
I'm just calling a
parents.
fucking shot on that right now. I'm just calling. I'm
Go for
literally
it.
fucking calling a mid-sentence shot. I'm sorry, Wiggles. Go ahead.
Go for
Shots,
it.
people.
I'm
I mean
shot
that. You have
Pepsi.
Emo called you that morning, so
fuck
you have
it.
my
I'm gonna
phone
take a
number. If
shot.
you have anything that goes on around your house, you just hit me up. I'll come down. It's like that long of a drive, and I'm like pretty much a master carpenter, so there's nothing in your house that can break that I can't fix.
This is the thing, right? And my other half, she's Bulgarian, so she lives in Eastern Europe. Well, she's from Eastern Europe. I'm from the UK, which is Western Europe, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Her daughter lives with her parents in Eastern Europe. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I treat that daughter like she's my own because you know what? She will eventually come here and live with us. And anything I can do, I will give that. And Graf, you doing exactly the same. You do what you can for other people and for things, but yeah, people of your own blood, your own flesh, or whatever, but also your own friends and people that you care about. And that's the thing. That's what really, really, really hits home. The fact that, yeah, we play a silly, and you know what? A lot of people give me hate for this, but a silly little fucking internet spaceship game. Pixels on a server about 12.5 kilometers from where I'm sitting right now, which I have access to, whatever, don't care. I could turn Eve off, don't care. The fact that is there, and we're all brought together because of that, because of Eve. It could be World of Warcraft, it could be EverQuest, it could be fucking any other League of Legends, whatever, any other game. The fact that we're all brought together because of that, and caring about each other, and checking in just daily, saying, how are you doing? You okay? You're fine? You're cool? Whatever. How's your day been? It's all fucking good. That's what makes us family. We know we may not be blood family, but we're extended family.
We're at the 10:30 mark right now, so we've only got 30 minutes left of this show. So I do want to ask out there, who has something to say that we should reflect on before ending on a positive note? Okay, because all this stuff right here, and I recognize we can all like, you know, grasp on like a lot of the things that Grath has said and everybody else has said. I do want to end this show in the last 20 to 30 minutes anyways, on a positive note, because I'm going to tell you right now, my own personal perspective, okay, as much as I would like to not admit that BC caused me to grow as a fucking human being in EVE Online, I want to find a way where it's like, you know what? Look, BC was a goddamn podcaster personality. So, okay, so am I. So are you, Wiggles. Okay, Grath, you're a goddamn FC personality. Where it's like, if you died tomorrow, people would be like, "Holy motherfucking shit, Grath died." All right. How do we find a way of like memorializing the people that have played this game where only a handful of people knew about them.
Well, I think we've proven over this past week that that's not really the case, right? And going forward, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will take this with them. Like, more than just a handful of people knew about them, right? Like, it's had a pretty big impact, and a really positive one that I've seen, like, an outpouring from the community.
But how do we publicize it? How do we make it known? This shit happens more often than those of us in the quote-unquote community know about. I mean, the community are the people who speak up.
Let me tell you this right now. So, from one thing that, like, so I've experienced a lot of loss, right? And, like, really close friends. And this is one way I look at it. And this is one thing that I do personally. That loss, his memory, it doesn't need to be editorialized. It doesn't need to be written on an internet web page or anything like that. The people that knew him and the people that he had an impact on, they will tell their kids about him. And that memory lives along with everybody that's still alive that he had an impact on. That's how I go through every day with my friends that I've lost. Like, my kids will know their name. They'll know their stories. They'll never be lost as long as there's somebody alive or the descendant of somebody alive who knows the story that, you know what I mean? One day my grandfather told me about this guy who had a really great impact on this life. And it'll be that kind of story that gets passed down. That's where it'll live, and that's importantly where it should.
See you, Greth. Oh, he already left.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone can say better than what Jay McLean just said. I mean, that's perfect. You remember him just by remembering him and talking about him and sharing the experience that he had with you. With
and living
people.
But that's
To be
easy
fair,
for those of
every
us who
day
like
you
have a
turn
connection to like
phones
something like this.
into his life.
I mean, not
That is
everybody
it.
out there has
You know
a
what,
connection
Panda? That's it.
to a podcast or a fucking Twitch channel or whatever it is. How do we get it out there to where, you know what, there are people in Eve who are not Greth Telkin, who are not certainly
Right,
BC.
but here's the thing: not everybody knows about PFC Elm that
No,
died
they
in
don't.
2011.
They don't. But
you know what I mean?
But how do you get
they
that
don't-
out there, Jay?
But they don't need to. They don't need
They
to.
don't?
Because your family will know, like my wife knows, our family will know, my children will know. And that's the important bit.
My
Everything
family
past
knows
that
as well.
has the potential to be superficial. And it's not as nearly as important as the people that are close to you and that were close to him that had an impact that know.
There's a difference between knowing and kind of stepping up and doing something about it. Like, you can't reverse it, right? But like you can like say, hey, look, we're all here, we're all behind it. How do we sit there and like grasp these people that are a part of Eve? Maybe not on the same level, publicly,
well,
for whatever reason, as BC or Photon Torpedo or any of the other people who have made public impacts on this game.
Well, and
it's really
basically
the next step. I mean, we have broadcaster reps. I know at Eve Vegas they brought out the numbers. The Eve community's raised over $500,000 for charity. That's incredible, but we need to find a way of giving voice to when we lose someone that maybe isn't in the public eye.
Well, right, and someone in the chat just mentioned that they're saying maybe they should have a memorial webpage for anyone that's been lost at Eve. That would be a great idea. But I think what Jay is getting at, and I see what Dirk's getting at, is like everyone that we lose should be remembered. And what Jay is getting at is that as long as the people that knew them, that really cared about them, know and remember them, that's the most important thing. Because that's what really counts. Those are the people.
That's going to travel the longest, right?
Right. Because those are the people that, like, the people that care about that person will know and will find out, and they will, and that's going to be the most heartfelt remembrance right there.
And just because, like, say someone's like space famous or not, like that's not who they are. The remembrance isn't by a million people or whatever saying, oh yeah, this guy lived and he's not here anymore. It's about the actual stories, and it's about what you know of the person. Like, it's who they are and what they would want. So yeah, we should have like a way to remember people, but at the same time, we all need to remember people in our own ways, as well as, you know, how they would want to be. Would BC really want like would he want his face plastered everywhere, or would he want stories to be plastered everywhere? Like, you have to think about that as well.
Or would he want you to keep on doing the show and getting shit-faced now every Friday night, a spot that he really wanted? And I think that might carry more weight than anything else.
All right. Real quick.
I'll agree with Jay on that.
Max Singularity did come in. He did say that he wanted to come in and say some words. So, Max, thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you, guys. As soon as I heard Memorial, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to sign in because that's a perfect segue. And I didn't want to talk earlier because I've literally been going for all 4 or 5 days past Vegas, just going balls to wall. Many of you know, but for those who don't, I took the Sixth Empire Alliance because of all the Olivia bullcrap and because of, you know, a definite need for the broadcast for reps. And I just decided, you know, we were kind of not doing much. And what really does an alliance do that has a pope? You know, am I going to be like Goonswarm and take over half the map, then get my butt kicked by a coalition? That ain't a good thing. Are we going to scam? Am I going to be like Code? That ain't a good thing. So we came up with the idea, and I started talking to people at Las Vegas to turn this into basically the Coast Guard of New Eden. You know, that we have a couple of slogans: answer all calls, and we got you, you got us. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an alliance, and in this alliance, it's going to be all of the outcast players that have had a hard time in other alliances and they just want a place to relax and chill. Or maybe people who are suicidal, but they don't want to quit the game and they want to join the alliance. And we're not out to seek for power. We want one system in a wormhole, one system in nullsec, one system in a lulz, so we have a base of operations. And those people can gather there and come visit us, and they can come shoot at us. And, you know, we're not expecting to be blue to everybody. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to actually have an honor guard in Iceland for the monument. And lo and behold, you know, big country, just 2 days after we had this idea, you know, he passed. And Benzman, who lives in Iceland, who's in the Sixth Empire and joined because of all of this, he placed a candle on the monument. And we're going to start doing that for all players. For the players that have lost somebody, the Sixth Empire is going to be your honor guard. And at FanFest on Sunday, I don't have the time yet, but I'm going to do a real, and I'm not joking, a real service for the unknown capsuleer. And I want you to think about that. The unknown capsuleer.
So many of them.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that we lose, but we don't get no notification. The wife doesn't know how to tell us, you know, that this happened, and we lose so many of them. So I'm going to do a real service for the unknown capsuleer, and Benzman's going to be there, and he's going to light some candles, and people can come, and we can. Literally, I know I'm going to cry my eyes out, but that's what this community does, and that's how it's just going to effing be. Okay. Somebody made a joke that Max Singularity found out a new way to harvest tears in EVE Online.
Fucking tears. Jesus Christ, Max.
Fucking Max, man.
Give me the ball.
So
that's no language for a lady.
So the other thing we are going to do, and this is what called me to call in, was we've nuked all our old web pages and our forums. We are going to have a forum, and I just talked to Emma at Broadcast for Reps. We're going to partner with them, and we're going to do things in game that Spam Free Hills cannot do because they're a nonprofit organization. But I can because I'm the freaking Pope. So So we're gonna have like fleet fights that are, you know, like pew for reps. And also, I told my IT team, and we have an awesome team. We're going to create in our website an area for a memorial page for each person. And people can write us on our forums. They can write the memorial, and then we will post a page. That's, you know, that's what a pope does, I guess.
Sounds very pope-like.
And that's incredible. That's exactly what I was talking about before, about the fact that, you know what? Look, you know, it's great when fucking Vile Rat, I don't want to say it's great when Vile Rat dies, okay? It's great when we're alerted to the fact where people like Vile Rat die, or Photon Torpedo, or Big Country, people that like are out there in the public eye. But the fact of the matter is that this game has been going on so long that there are more of us in all of our corps out there, in all of our alliances, that are going to pass away, that something is going to happen just by fucking odds. We need to know about them too. Not just these people who have made an impact through some other out-of-game means.
Yeah, and hopefully, in the Sixth Empire, we're not going to check for API keys because we're not taking territory. Anybody can join us. And on our forums, it's going to be the same way. And yeah, you know what? We're going to get like some asshole trolls like the Olivia one. And, you know, I'm more about mitigation than prevention. We'll just kick their ass at the time. But this will give us a way, you know, every player can tell their spouse, look, if something, and put it in a secret envelope or something, or in your will or something, that if something happens to me, go to the Sixth Empire and make this post on this forum. And we'll make that memorial page, and we'll stand guard over you guys.
I was absolutely blown away when I saw the whole thing of the candle lighting out there. So you know what? Number one, it is fucking shots time. We've got one more before the shot is over. I'm sorry, before the show is over.
One second.
Woman, you don't have to correct my speech.
Can we all yell shots?
It would not be open comms if I did not fucking, like, you know, have a misspeak. Anyways, you know what?
Did you say literally?
Dirk?
Yeah.
So not only do you literally, but do you have a meatball sub?
I do, in fact, have a meatball sub. Woman, would you grab my meatball sub?
Wait. Let me get my drink. Hold
And
on.
I did a roll for that Jim J that he was giving away the Rorqual. Steel Horse, you won the Rorqual. So I'm gonna link your name to Jim J.
I do have a meatball sub here. I am gonna eat the shit out of this after this show. To my man BC, I'm gonna do a shot of fucking Tito's vodka, straight handmade from Texas. You know, right now, but this meatball sub is for after this show because I'm not so drunk that I'm actually going to deep throat this the way I have on previous shows. However,
I have a bottle of Line Aquavit, and it was actually shipped from Norway across the equator all the way to Australia, and then it was shipped back across the Australia back to Norway. And so the drink I'm about to swig has literally been around the world.
It's well traveled, as you could say.
Are you one-upping our shots here, Max? Is that what you're doing?
there is no Drayden, you're from America. There is no one-upping our goddamn American-made Texan Tito's vodka.
Goddamn Paul.
Right. However, we will put it on the same level for the sake of this show, since it has gone around the world, even though it is Norwegian. But here is
Who does the talk?
Here's a shot to this community. I swear to God, even though I have been around long enough to see how this community stands up for those around it, even I was fucking surprised this time. All right? I'm surprised every single time that this community stands up the way that it does. It is one of the things that we as players need to seriously take pride in. That we actually care about one another. So whatever, before I cry, shot.
Shots. Skull.
Shots.
Okay, I just want to say for these shots to BC, my husband, my best friend.
Give it to
Someone
me,
in-
Mrs. Big Country. Give it to me.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got.
Thank you so much for that.
Out there, people, I'm gonna tell you right now, another shot.
Yeah.
We owe it to the guy who brought us, you know what? Whatever he brought you, disagree with him, agree with him. You know what? All we can do is talk about the fucking shit that brought us all together. I'm gonna tell you right now, it brought us all together. What he talked about, what we talked about, what those of us as a community have gotten together for. I love you, Mrs. BC.
I love you.
You should totally play his fucking character and run around like a ghost.
It's a scam.
You can come party
It's
with
totally a
us. You can
fucking
fly with
scam.
us.
Scooter McCabe owns BC's character.
You could be one of the exact 12 PL alts or spies.
Okay.
Miss BC, are you a player?
Do I actually have
No.
a drink this shot?
Wait, Dirk, did you do the shot already?
I just literally did 2 shots in.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
babe.
I thought.
But you
really
know,
short period.
I think BC would definitely want us to all take a second before we're done to, think about his mom, because she's the reason why he was
Yes.
playing this game for, however long he was playing. It wouldn't have been a thing that we're doing right now.
is
if it
kind of a
wasn't for
second
her.
gen, isn't he?
He is. And he was so proud of her for playing, for being, the strong, badass woman that she was, and then, bringing him into it. So I think we do definitely need to, think about her on this as well.
Are you saying calling an extra shot for his mom?
Maybe.
Can we do
Because
a shot
because
for
back when they
So-
back when they
Can we
came
have
out
a
with the whole
35
fucking
second
monument
break
thing and
between shots,
whatnot, they had
please?
the whole thing. They had back when they came out with the monument thing, they had the thing for fallen players at that time. And I know that he worked to have his mom put on there, his mom's character put on there and whatnot. So that, whatever. Fucking, let's do a
Wait.
goddamn another shot to
Can we do a
BC's
shot?
mom,
Oh,
who
shit.
is the one that actually got him into this game. Not like BC stumbled across this
Can we
shit
do
on
a
his
shot to
own.
BC's son? Because there
Oh
were
my
so
God,
many
you're gonna do,
times when
his mom, him to
BC,
his
not only
mom
his
to
mom,
his
but
son?
his son. So I've met BC's son because he would just
What
send
about
us
his daughter, Rain?
Skype. No, it was his son. He sent us Skype message on like Skype messages. He'd just be like, "Hey guys, how are you?" And he was so excited to try out the iPad. And I never really kind of knew BC through his family, but his son was just the epitome of just getting on camera, being fascinated with the iPad. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm on camera. How are you?" And we'd sit and talk, and there were a few days where he would just sit and talk to us on camera. And BC was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's my son." And we're like, "No, BC, that's perfectly okay. We don't care if your son's on camera. That's awesome."
Number one, his son in various podcasts that video casts or whatever the hell you want to call the shit we do on Twitch, ran around ass naked. Okay, his
His
daughter
son was
did at one
amazing.
point.
Fuck you, Dirk. He was so
There's no
chill.
fuck you, jerk, about that. It's literally ran
Mustache.
across ass naked.
That's perfectly okay. But no, he was
Yes.
always so excited to be on camera or on comms. And he was just super duper excited. He's like, "Yo, Dad, can I call your friends?" And BC be like, "Okay, guys, here's my son." He tried to apologize. It's no, you can let your son call us on Skype. It's not a big deal.
There are parts of me that sit there and my daughter hates the fact that I have more Twitch followers, Twitter followers than she does. Okay, I can tell you right now, BC's kids never grew up in the aura of the Eve community.
Yo,
The way that mine did. And that
No,
would be
his
one of
kids
the
are now in
things-
the community, just like his wife is.
That would be one of the things I miss.
Hey, Max.
All right.
Max has got a story.
Yeah, so at Eve Vegas, I I got one of the biggest hugs from Mom Bellicose. And for those who don't know, Mom Bellicose is the mother of John Bellicose, who committed suicide in April of 2014, who was an Eve player. And not only was Mom Bellicose there with nobody else other than her husband, Dad Bellicose, they gave me this huge hug because I talked about him in Norway, and I talked about him on the Olivia video a little bit. And it really meant a lot to them because they could see the community that is here, and they could see how much. And Dad Bellicose actually said, you know, Max, by seeing what was happening here and the dynamics which what was going on, it made us understand that it wasn't stuff that we could have prevented or our fault. And it was very comforting for them. So I know that these are much different circumstances, but Miss BC, just want to let you know that, you know, we're here for you too. And that's how this community rolls, man.
Thank you.
All right. So I don't think this would be proper without me doing a really good rant, and I promise this is going to happen, Miss BC.
Oh my God, you're gonna fucking rant, bro?
I've been waiting.
We're gonna pick it up.
Ranty?
It wouldn't
So-
be an OC without a rant.
I know, right? Come on. I'm just trying to keep
Seriously.
it real.
You gotta call it the OCS. The OC makes it sound like that drama show, but
Good.
All right. So my first encounter with BC was on the Open Com show, and I was going around to podcasts, and the Open Com show was the first one that really kind of like picked me up for doing Best of Us stuff. And I came on, and at first he kind of gave like BC gave me like I don't know what it was. He read me the fucking riot act almost a little bit for what we were trying to do. He was like, well, what are you guys trying to do with this? He's just kind of grilling me a little bit. So I was like, God damn it, like I'm just trying to help people, man. But after that, like we talked
What?
after.
Help people?
I know, right? So after that, we talked, and I really picked up on Open Com show. Like it really like allowed me to come out and talk about the stuff that we were dealing with. And I was just an absolute glutton for punishment because I kept coming back. And then after that, I even joined Dirk's Corp, which was fucking god awful.
yeah,
And so I
you call
had-
us the retirement club.
The
was.
retirement-
It was
We were
totally
not that
retirement club.
alliance.
We were totally retired, and I had more time to talk with like Giles and fucking BC and Dirk, and we were just sitting there retired, and I just kept coming back to the Open Com show, and BC would just keep getting my goat all the time. He would get my fucking goat. Like we'd be talking about something, and he would come out of left field with some fucking madness, and it would just like I was very easily riled up at that point, right? Like I was still super raw and new to like communicating with human beings, and he would come in, and that motherfucker, he would get my goat, and like we'd get going, and would fucking rile me up. You can ask Miss McLean here, like she would hear me yelling at the fucking computer. But I keep coming back, and it kept getting better and better and better, and like I want to like Dirk and especially BC too, like they really believed like what I was doing, and they really threw their support behind it 100 like everything they had. And we even did a veterans fundraiser on I believe it was TMC last year, and we did shots for money donated to the Combat Wounded Coalition. So as much as me and BC went around and around, and he got my goat like almost nobody could, I guess. Everything that like he put behind what we were doing, legitimately, like he helped launch us, and he helped like actually help people. So I wanted you to know that, Miss BC, like with what we're doing and the support that BC put behind it and the Open Com show, it helps people, and we were able to do some really good stuff.
Yeah, I think he really loved that part of it too, was helping people the most. He loved doing that. And the other one with so I don't know it all, but he loved helping people. I just want to say a huge thank you everyone that is donated and sent messages or said anything anywhere. I'm reading it all. Of course, I can't respond, but I just want you all to know thank you so very much from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate it so much.
You're welcome.
On that, let's take a shot to that glorious bastard that would always get my fucking goat and send me on a spiraling rant and keep Miss McLean up in the middle of the night.
Shots.
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 Well, you
Shots,
guys-
bitches!
Wait, I
You know
gotta
what?
pour. I gotta pour.
I'm gonna
Shots
tell you,
for the
you
guys
guys
Holy
can,
shit, how do you not have a fucking shot poured?
Pre-pour rain.
Listen,
Dirk,
listen,
you
listen,
choked
listen,
up,
listen,
and I
listen.
like couldn't hold it.
Listen, you guys
Believe
can
me,
all go do
you
that.
do not want to live your lives by how Dirk chokes up, okay? Because Dirk is
Dirk,
being
you
choked
choke so
madly.
much, you're like Eminem.
Listen. This is the thing. You guys can all go do that. Giles, me, and Alpha, and I don't know if there's anyone else who's on UTC at the moment.
She poured like half a
been-
shot for me and three shots.
I've just gone and thrown up.
Oh.
Right?
Fuck yeah,
Because
man.
TMI.
Binge
no,
and garage and like
no,
get
no,
back in
fuck-
the game.
Bitch, you can keep
Fuck-
going. Like, oh, what's the
Listen,
problem?
Listen, fuck TMI, right? Fuck TMI. The fact is, I'm honoring my friend tonight. I'm honoring the guy that meant a fucking lot to me. You know, and there's a minute and a half left on Eve Radio. You guys may not hear it, but
Actually,
the rest
what's
of
weird
it
is
will
that
go out.
Drunk Canadian is up after us, but like
Yeah.
he literally does not exist on Twitch tonight because
Yeah, where is he?
Yeah.
He's supposed to go next. We're like freaking out. We
He's
have a
not
24-hour
here.
stream here, and he's
Hold
not
on.
here.
I do want to throw this out there. I do want to throw this out there that Drunk Canadian, he's in the middle of a move, so I'm not quite sure how they figured out that he was on after us. So we can actually kind of roll a
I-
little longer.
Well, if someone else wants to pick up the stream, because I actually I have to go at 8. Well, I mean, we can
Everybody
go like
hates Drayden. Everybody
Damn
hates
it,
Drayden.
we can go like 10. We can go like 10 more minutes.
It's not
but-
Dirk's fault anymore. It's all Drayden.
I know.
Drayden is
I'm
such a fucking
I'm
dick.
a horrible bastard. I no. We can go like 10
Drayden.
minutes.
Drake, you
but
can't play Laura Croft.
told
like,
you
you're
you
the
always
worst.
no.
choices.
It's
Of all the nights.
Okay, right. For the people on Eve Radio, the people that are listening, can we? Where is the thing? Where's the fucking
Hello.
button? I got to press that one. That one there. Can everyone who's listening? Well, it's too late. They've already switched over to the next DJ. So whoever's
Wait, hold on a
listening right
second.
now,
Hold on. I just
Yeah.
like sprinted home. Like I drove home to make sure I got home in time to say hi.
Mhm.
I wanted to say hi to everyone.
Hi, Bo.
Hi, Bill. How are
Guys,
you?
let me tell you guys
Hello,
something.
hello.
I want to share a little story here. So I heard Elise at the
Does
gym get
anyone
all
think
tearied
you
up.
warped you died?
No. So
Bro,
I heard
you were
Elise tear
fucking
up.
choking up too. Don't even lie.
Yeah. So
Speak.
Bo, push the top.
Boat. Use your
Bo,
words.
where'd you go?
Boat. Use your
Hold on a
words.
second.
CPR on Bo, guys.
Did you cry at the gym? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No.
said, hold on a
So
second.
I think it was Wednesday when I heard about this.
Did you click jump
before I
instead
was-
of bridge?
it was
So,
Wednesday
so it
morning.
was, like,
it was
right
Tuesday US
before-
Wednesday morning.
It was right before I was supposed to go live for one of my
Mhm.
shows. And so let me tell you this. So normally I don't get teary eyed. Normally when people die or things die, I laugh. That's like my coping mechanism. And I tell jokes, I laugh, and everything's all funny. And then like when my dog passed a few years ago, you know, I kind of laughed at first, and then it took like a couple weeks before it hit me. And then when Valorant died, I laughed. And one of my good friends in high school got in a car accident. He died. I laughed. But then when I heard about the BC thing, I kind of cried. And like I tried not to because I had to go live in like 30 minutes. And you could just see it in my face. I'm like, oh, fuck, this sucks. I'm not supposed to be crying. But I did. Like I cried, right? And the thing about it is that, you know, a lot of people don't realize is BC is a big guy, right? He is a big dude. And when I was at Vegas, there's a lot of big guys there, like a lot of Big Eve players. And it worries me. You see guys that are big, they think, oh, you know, I'm in my 30s, I'm fine. But if anything, they need to like wake up some, you know? Like that's what I think made me cry the most is that I was fat. Like I just let it go. Like depression hit me and I was like, fuck it. I don't care if I'm fat anymore. But you got to wake up. And I think that's why I cried is that you can't let yourself go because if you do, this could happen. And I don't want to see more people that I know just disappear, especially when they're so young. Because I'm 29, and to see someone who's 37 go, it's like, oh fuck, that's too young. You know?
You know what?
It is.
You know
It's a good
what?
one.
You know what? I turned 36 a couple of weeks ago. I turned 36 on the 6th of October, so what we're looking at, literally just over a month ago.
You old fuck.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. You know what? My girlfriend's 35, and you know what? The point is that it's scary when you realize that us as people forget the fucking fact that we're Eve players. Forget that. Think the fact that we are actually people, right? We're human beings on this planet. We're here for a limited amount of time, whether it be 70, 80, 90, 100 years, whatever. We're here for this set amount of time. We have a certain amount of time to do things. And sometimes we put them off. And then you realize that, you're 65, you're 70, and you haven't told that person.
Oh my god, who the fuck is 65 or 70? Dude, Eve players, well, there may be some of them.
Exactly, Doug. This is what I'm saying. You know what? There are people out there, and you know what?
Well,
Because
someone
we
just posted in
finished-
chat they're 64.
Yeah, well, the fact that we finished on Eve Radio.
People are wondering what the future of the Open Comm show is. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Why you cut off
the
the
future
fucking
of
shit.
the Open Comm show is literally this. We will continue to carry on as the Open Comm show.
Exactly.
And we will we will speak to Eve the way that the people on the Open Comm show can.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing. The people that were listening for Eve Radio that now have gone over to Astolf as another DJ, I'm still recording this because you know what? I don't give a fuck. Because this is something, you know what? The last 10 minutes or so.
You don't give a fuck.
You
Look,
know,
I don't want.
no,
I
Matt,
don't wanna
Matt,
argue
hold
with
on,
you,
hold on.
DJ Wiggles. Okay.
No, I'm
But
Jody
here's the
Farrington.
thing.
You know what?
Me,
10 minutes ago,
fucking
I was.
Drayden,
The
fucking
10 minutes
Rain,
ago.
fucking
10
drunk Canadian who could not be here tonight because he's
Man,
in,
I think you're
he's
both
in,
stupid.
Hold on. No.
He's in
10
a
minutes
move.
ago. 10 minutes ago.
So
10 minutes,
we're pretty
10 minutes
much
ago.
at the point in the show where we've reached the epitome of funny.
Wait, Jody,
Ten
go.
minutes
This
ago,
is why it
I was in the
only
toilet
lasts 2
throwing my
hours.
guts up because I'm paying tribute to my friend.
We all
That's
are
what it comes
Wiggles.
down to.
We all are
Exactly.
Wiggles.
We are all paying tribute to our friend.
Jody,
And you
did
know
I
what?
tell you that I loved you, bro?
No, you didn't. And you know what?
Well,
You can
Which
give me a-
Jody? Which Jody?
Here's what we need
Which
to tell
Jody?
you from the Open Comm show. This is what we're going to tell you from the fucking Open Comm show. Okay? This show was began and it will fucking forever go on as
Mhm.
the show that is like, what, Drayden? This is what we think about.
It's
even.
I
no
called
matter-
it. It's like the
whether
DGAF. It's the
1 hour
DGAF
into
show.
Fucking, being a fucking asshole, or 2 hours into
No,
fucking
no,
like
it's-
just saying, please God, shut this shit off.
No, it's the DGAF show. That's the best description I think. This show don't give a fuck.
It really does not. Okay.
Right.
I mean, actually, we do. Okay.
We
because
do, but we
care
say we
about
don't.
what
We
fucking
pretend we
happens
don't,
with
and then we
this
really
game.
do. We don't give a fuck until the day after. Then we're like, what the fuck have we done?
Yep,
What have we
yep.
done?
When I wake up the next morning and I feel guilt, I want to know that I still feel guilt about this fucking show. I do. I do. I cry to other people out there that none of you know about this, okay? I do. I cry about the fucking guilt I feel about shit. What did I say last night?
Well, is this the
But
thing?
this show will be the fucking same because it's all about what do we think about Eve and are we having fun together? This show will always be about, no matter what fucking happens, no matter who leaves this show, are we fucking having an enjoyable time talking about, maybe Eve, and then whatever else it is that we think about.
What could be more open comms than this Dirk McGurk dialogue?
Oh, I was just gonna say the same exact thing. BC would be really proud that this show ended or is ending with drunken rants from half the
Oh
panel.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's tradition. It's got to go that way.
Ready, go.
At least
I
Dirk
love my
doesn't
fucking
have to
brother,
stumble his
and I'm
way
gonna tell you
back
right
to a
now.
tent and fall down the hill.
I love my fucking brother. I am still going to be in search for the guy that can fucking rant with me like back and forth and all that kind of shit from now until the fucking you know what? It might be next fucking week. All of a sudden, Drayden might fucking step up. Rain might fucking step up. Fucking Drunk Canadian might step up.
Y'all step up, Dirk. What do you want me to do?
Wait, hold on. Time out a second. I don't want fucking
1v1 me
Elise
I'll beat
Randolph
you
to
up.
come in here and be like,
she's
hey,
getting
yeah,
ghetto.
I'm
She's
fucking
pretty drunk
silver
right now.
fucking foil. Okay, but
Dirk, I'll beat you up IRL. Like where are we gonna fight?
no shit, no
We'll
shit.
fight
One
me, bro.
1v1 of the sun.
This show is about. This show is not about all those other things those podcasts are about. This show is about. We want you, the viewer, to have a fucking chime in.
All these viewers do. Look at this channel. Like, look at the channel. We normally
I
only
know.
have like 6 to 8 people, and now we have like fucking 15 to 20.
Exactly.
That
We
is
have
amazing.
this channel. Fuck this shit. I'm dying next week. Y'all bitches
Oh,
better
hey,
be
hey,
here.
hey, Dirk.
Dirk, you can't
guys
go.
can
We
go.
have 2
Fuck
memorials in a row. You fucking loser.
Also, Wiggles, I'm putting it right on you tomorrow at Eve London to hold everyone and make a toast to BC, right?
Dude, check
It's
that.
got to be
Last
done.
fucking toast right now.
Here.
You don't even know.
You know what?
Rocket,
I'm gonna tell you
rocket.
right now.
Click
I
on,
poured my
Dirk,
fucking
click on,
guts
click.
out. I poured my guts
I
out
know you
in
did.
that goddamn TMC eulogy shit. Okay,
Mhm.
'Cause I thought all of you needed to know what I thought about all this. I'm pouring my guts out right now.
Bless you, bro.
You know what?
Oh, hey, Pukin's here.
We love you, Dirk.
Ah, you know what?
Hold
Peter
on,
got
hold
here
on.
late. Fuck that
Pukin.
shit.
Clear comms,
Like,
clear.
But
Hold on,
but
hold
here's
on,
the
hold on.
thing.
Say it on
You know what?
blindside, you
all of us
motherfucker.
right now. Okay, all of us right now. If you've got a drink out there, I don't give a shit. It's fucking Tito's. I don't care if it's goddamn 12-year-old Scotch, you poor bastard.
Potter's
or
vodka.
20-year-old, like, you know,
Right.
shit.
Right,
Right?
right,
right,
We're
right.
throwing up right now. We're throwing a shot for fucking
right,
big
right,
country,
right.
goddamn motherfuckers. All
Shout out to
you
Big Country. We're all super drunk and crying a
Big
bunch.
country.
So go to
We're
Big
gonna cut
Country.
this shit
We're
after this
sobbing
shot.
to fucking meatball subs because that's what Big Country
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
Oh my
wanted.
god, I totally
Right.
have an evil sub to fall back on.
Ready?
You know
Green
what?
team.
Love
3,
the
2,
Take it.
listeners.
1.
Love Big
shots.
Country.
We love you,
We're
bro.
all in this. Peace out, bros.
I
One,
would, but I've
All
already
right.
said.
3.
Take it.
Shots.
Shots. Before we
This is
go,
the thing.
We drank
yeah?
like half our Tito's.
I have a
by the way.
tearjerker song I'm gonna put on. I got to.
I've cried at least 3 different times, so you guys need to catch up.
Just
Like
play
I
Drake
don't know.
Drake and close it out.
Hold on.
This is the thing, right?
I thought
Rocket,
Drunk Canadian
Tell
was
us
up
about the
next.
thing.
I'm obviously live in London. I'll be at fucking Veto London tomorrow.
not it.
It's a sin if I'm not there because it's my home fucking city. I've already said I'm gonna do shots and drinks for for Jeff. He's a brother from another mother, and you know what? As much as that fucking hurts, there are literally, apart from Megan in here, and I'm getting teary. There's 2, maybe.
It's okay to
3,
cry,
maybe
bro. Like it's
4
manly to
no,
cry.
no, I've done this, Rain. I've done this. I did this all week of fucking work.
Purge if you need to, bro.
Dude, there are a couple of other people in here that were like close to him. Yeah, I was a fucking DJ, whatever. You know what? Fuck it. It's been funny. And that's the thing. Fucking hurts.
Well, but let me tell you, you got like 16 other people in here. Right here. And that's the important part, right?
I held it in the entire show. I went and threw up. I did all this shit, but you know what? I came afterwards, and you know what? I'm still recording this shit, and I don't give a fuck. Because people are like that. And that's how
We love
it
you,
is.
Jody. Everybody say we love you, Jody.
We love you, Jody.
We love you, Jody. And we love you.
Blessings be, Jody. In a
I mean,
big
Dirk has to
country.
be an asshole.
In a big
It's okay to
country,
cry.
dreams
I don't
stay
know
with
why.
Oh my god, this is
I don't
it.
know why
I can say
men have
whatever I
such a
want.
stigma against crying, but it's 100% okay. It's okay to handle loss by crying. Like, we've heard plenty of people choke up, and granted, some women are getting teary-eyed on stream, but it's okay to choke up and to cry.
Oh my god,
That's
don't make me get
a
teary
part of the
eyed
morning
on
process.
stream, make you
This is a
empathetic
safe
and cry.
space, as Jay McClain would call it. We can all, like, get teary-eyed and cry about children. Like, who cares? Like, this is a safe space. This is the one time where the
We are
viewers will
never
post
safe
us all on, like,
space,
Stream
open
Fails Like it's okay. It's okay to. It's a
Literally
running joke,
never
Buck
in the
Strider.
history
It's
of
okay.
Overcoms
It's a
will we
running
ever
joke.
make this a safe space.
This is a safe space. Buck Strider,
if you want a
cry.
safe space,
We
go
can
to
all
bed.
cry
Hey.
on camera together.
Wait,
It's okay.
Dirk,
Wait.
let her have her safe space. Just as long as she
No, fuck
thinks
that.
it's a safe space.
Team,
Let her
it's-
think
it's-
it.
Literally, if you
It's
want a
just a
safe
prank,
space, go to Reddit.
I gotta say that, right?
Totally
It
not
was
the place.
great to meet Jay at Eve Vegas. Obviously, like this side of the channel, this side of the Atlantic, I get to meet more of the American guys. So at the PL meal, like we're there, and the guy, it was a Brazilian steakhouse, so they literally bring out meat on skewers, and the guy comes over with chicken, and Jay's like, "Chicken? What is that? Bring me beef." For the entire night, for 2 solid hours.
Exactly.
I watched
It's
that
like,
man chow
really?
down on
Really?
that stuff.
Are you gonna wrap
It was
chicken in
almost a
bacon and
spectator
try and
sport.
bait
It was spectacular.
Tell me about the chicken.
It was pretty offensive.
The worst part of the whole chicken thing was they wrapped it in bacon. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not taking your fucking slide.
It was all a ruse, bro.
I definitely had a piece
It was
of
good
the
though, wasn't it?
chicken
Like
and
chicken and
it
bacon, I
was
could do that.
More
Says the
delicious than you'll
fucking
get
British
credit
man.
for.
Okay, hold on.
American beef.
Alright, so Wiggle. Alright, just ask, it's alright, bro. Just ask Ray, like, the state that I was in. Like, when we were at Vegas, and one of my buddies that I actually deployed, who was in the same platoon as me when I went to Afghanistan, just ask her how I looked, like, after I seen him for the first time. Like,
You
I was
looked-
complete. I was
Yeah, you looked very, very serious, and then I could not make a joke that would go by you. I made some safe space jokes, but that was before you had met him. And then I'm like, fuck, I can't joke with McLean. He looks way too serious.
Oh, I was a train wreck. I was an absolute
Oh,
train wreck.
it's 100% understandable. As a person who routinely jokes about Tumblr
As a
and safe
prostitute?
spaces, I 100% understand Jay McLean.
All right.
I will
all right.
not pull your leg about that stuff.
I had the same experience, except for the fact that I thought he might pull my legs off if I tried, right?
I'm like over here
I'm
like
really
getting
not a
teary-eyed,
bad
and
person.
Rocket is
I
like
try
pushing
really
me
hard
off
to be
screen. Like,
super positive when I meet people at Vegas now.
no, you were totally
Except
awesome.
for when you glare someone down because you may or may not recognize them and then they want to run away.
You know what
It's
scared
a
me the most
protection
about
thing.
tonight's show was when Mom Bellicose fucking DM'd me.
Mom Bellicose is the most awesome person ever, and so
She is,
Jay
but it
McLean
fucking
has the panel before me.
derailed my ass.
Jay McLean has the panel before me, and he's talking about the community and like supporting each other, and then he brings Mama Bellicose on, and I'm like fucking tearing up,
No
and then
shit,
I
I
look
was, like,
over,
ready to cry
and my
with him.
panel mates are tearing up, and I'm like, fuck, I can't run a panel of like everyone crying. We all gotta get it together.
It was
go
hard.
on
I
stage.
To be fair, I
Could
didn't
you
set the
imagine,
schedule. I'm
Rain,
sorry.
when you came on, could you imagine if the whole audience was like fucking crying?
Oh my god,
But they had
I would
Kleenex
not be
in
able to
their
handle it.
hands.
I would just talk to Twitch chat, and like my phone was dead, so that was the thing. I couldn't talk to Twitch chat. So I'm like, oh fuck, how am I gonna like carry myself? Like Dirk McGurk is in fucking tears.
Dirk McGurk.
Drayden's like trying to give
No,
everyone a
seriously,
shot.
I'm in the fucking front row.
I'm gonna just
and it's
kind of like pause,
McLean is up
rewind,
there
and go
talking
back
about,
to
and then I came
Dirk
to
McDurk.
goddamn
Dirk
and
McDurk.
Dirk McGurk like let me share his room. Oh yeah, Dirk McGurk is fucking crying. It's like shit. What the
Dude,
fuck,
like,
bro?
Like Jay McLean's panel was really emotional, and then you brought Mrs. Mama Bellicose on it, and I was just like fucking choking up, and Panda was next to me. Like she can confirm. She was like choking up, and we're doing like the girl like, oh my god, we can't cry like thing. And like, oh my god, I have to go on stage in like 10 minutes, and like I'm fucking tearing up, and I can't handle this shit.
Jay
Like, what the fuck?
McLean's post was like his presentation was heavy, man.
It was awesome. Everyone needs to
oh no,
watch it.
no,
Like,
I'm
fuck
not.
my
No, it was
presentation.
great. It was great, but I was putting on the super manliest shell I could
shit.
put on, and I was having it was cracking. I was like, I can't contain it. Like the second when he started going to like an Afghan story, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. I can't do it. But
It wasn't fair. It wasn't. And then we come back to this shit, and then we come back to the
Dude,
reality of
like,
one of
does
our
your chair have a
players has
seatbelt?
fucking died.
You know how easy to go, dude.
Dirk, you can't cry. Like, if you cry, like, I just have to fucking walk off screen.
It's
And
okay.
I'm
like
gonna
an
tell you right now.
emotional
I'm gonna tell you
roller
right now. Over the
coaster.
course of the last 2 to 3 days,
I'm here for you,
I got
bud.
back from fucking Vegas at I don't know, midnight real time. Okay, midnight the next day, I'm catching a fucking Skype message about BC.
I got that in the morning, and I was like,
You got that in
in
the morning
tears,
because I
and
sent
then I
it
was
to
like,
you.
I can go to
It's
work.
like,
I can
what
go to
the
work.
fuck?
It
I
was
spent
the
the
fucking
next 7
worst.
hours.
Like, are
I
you
spent the next
serious?
7 hours like dealing with it, setting up a GoFundMe, writing a fucking eulogy. It's like holy fucking shit.
I went to work, I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored. So I read like my Twitter, and then I had to like stand in my senior executive offices, like tearing up, like, oh my God, I can't cry. And then like I'm like bawling to my boss, like, I need to go home. Like, I understand this is a person online, but you don't understand me. Like, I have to go home. And they're like, oh, we get it. Like, you do your online stuff. And I
My
was just
father
like,
died
I
in
was crying. Like, it
2006.
was the
And my
worst.
father,
It was the
my
worst. And I
father
like
died
have
in
drunk hiccups.
2006. Okay, I have not cried so much over the course of writing a fucking eulogy and a fucking GoFundMe and all that kind of since 2006. Okay, and all of a
It was
sudden,
2006, Dirk.
and all of a sudden,
Until
2016.
and all of a sudden, hold on, I literally almost lost it in like the front row of his fucking presentation. And I'm like, that shit is behind me. Okay. And here
Good,
I
I got
am,
that.
bam, laid fucking out in this
You know
shit.
what?
I'm
You know
like,
what?
And I'm realizing that, you know what? This game, god damn it, one more reason to either quit or stay with this game
I can't
is
look at
what
chat,
keeps
Dirk.
people with this.
Jay,
I
I
can't
have
look
to
at
say,
chat without like fucking tearing up and like listening to you and Elise and Drain. I just like have to walk out of the room because like I feel like a fucking disaster.
No
Jay, I
shit.
had to say,
No shit.
She even
How
has the
about
drunk
trying to
hiccups.
pull
I have the drunk
in
hiccups
of the
and like
man? How about trying
I'm
to
a
like pull
disaster.
music up for the man?
Jay, I
Who
had
was
to say,
responsible
well,
for that intro?
What music would you
Well,
play,
Dirk.
Dirk?
Dirk had the intro.
That
he's-
fucking intro. I was sitting there and
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
do
Like
I,
I can't
do I
watch that
play
intro, Dirk. Like I
bagpipes? Do I
cried last
play?
night.
Do I play
I can't cry
Johnny
again.
Cash? Fucking.
Well, you said that to
the
me, didn't
Johnny
you,
Cash
Matt? You said that to me.
version of,
You asked me. You had the choice. You had Johnny Cash or you had bagpipes, and I said, you know what? I personally would have gone with Johnny Cash because that would have hit more, but the bagpipes hit. When you said it to me, and I saw
Everybody
it.
fucking gripes out on fucking. I'm sorry.
There's a slam to the
on
fucking
fucking
face,
Amazing
Dirk.
Grace bagpipes. I mean, it's like bagpipes are like the thing that sits there and says, you know what? People are fucking dead.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Music,
The
bagpipes.
difference is, you know what? The fact that Johnny Cash hits home to me because, well, I've got it up here.
I listened to that shit like fucking 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
In putting that shit together, right? Okay. I sat
You
there
did a
and
good
listened to
job.
fucking Johnny Cash, Johnny Cash's version of Hurt from 9 Inch Nails, right? Which I know is one of his favorite songs. Okay. I listened to this stuff over the last fucking 72 hours.
Can you
I
not
cannot
like
shed
Dirk?
another fucking tear right now because
Dirk,
I
we're
am
getting
so
really
teared
emotional.
fucking out.
Can you not?
I remember when I bought this. This is the live.
Ignore her. It's all good. It's all good.
From 9 Inch Nails. It's all that it could have been live.
That was such a
And-
good show. Did you watch the DVD of that?
Yes, I've
it's-
got it here in
This
front of me
shit
right now.
it's
I
so
bought
good.
it, and Trent Reznor said that song was written for Johnny Cash before
Right,
he'd even
well,
known him.
I-
he
I-
wrote
You
it
don't
for
understand.
Johnny
I saw a
Cash.
thing like
He
when
comes from Texas. He like breathes that shit into
Well, this
his
is the
right.
thing.
I saw a
bought
thing.
that
I saw a
DVD
thing from
in
Trent that actually said.
2002.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I saw a thing from
Yeah.
Trent. He said when I heard Johnny Cash sing that song,
That
it was
his.
like
It was-
losing a girlfriend
It was, like,
because
made for
it's
him.
like it was
Yeah.
something
No,
I
really.
created and he outdid me on it.
That's what
And
he
there was
said.
nothing I could do to touch
And
that.
if you listen to the podcast of this afterwards, I'm gonna tell you right now. We opened tonight's show up with Amazing Grace played by bagpipes from the
Oh.
the fucking Scottish.
I had to watch that. I
whatever.
watched that
Okay.
3 times to condition myself so I wouldn't
Tonight on the
bawl like a
fucking- or,
baby
like,
and like
later
cause
on the
Rain to
fucking-
cry a bunch.
It will end with Johnny
Can you
Cash's
not, like,
version
I've
of
been
Hurt,
tearing up
because
just reading
You want it
chat.
done? It's done. It's done. I can
Like
sort that,
Dirk
no
was
problem.
talking about children, and I just like couldn't fucking handle it.
Do you want me to play a song? I can find it. I got it right here.
No, we're not playing songs.
Drayden,
no,
I've got
Drayden.
it.
No,
I
Drayden,
I-
Drayden,
I
sit
am
down.
fucking
Sit down.
I
Drayden.
already played "See You
Scott
Again" by
David.
Wiz Khalifa, and people were tearing up in the chat.
Don't hit me.
And I'll tell you all
Hey,
about
Yeah, I
it
play-
when I see you
I played
again.
that while you guys were talking,
Oh
and
my
everyone
God.
was. Everyone,
Drayden, stop it. Drayden, Drayden,
You have
stop
to key
it.
up for the hiccups too, you know that, right?
You guys have no idea. I mean, fucking Dirk is a fucking shitball when it comes to this goddamn fucking stuff. I have not cried this much since 2008 when my fucking father died. And that is,
playing it right
and I
now.
have totally fucking thought about
playing it
that,
right
and
now,
it's
dude.
like,
Keep
holy
talking.
shit.
Keep talking.
I
I'll play it in the
I
background.
cried this much over fucking my dad,
All right,
and then
bud.
there's
Why would you
BC.
fuck your dad?
So none of the
Drayden?
rest of you, like, none of the rest of you, fuck you. You know what? The rest of
probably
you guys
wrap it
can
up,
fucking like die tomorrow and like leave
Twitch
it
chat saying
fine.
play it.
Play it, Drayden, you slut.
It's playing already.
If Drayden's playing, listen.
Don't
if
you
Drayden's
call me
playing
a
on
slut.
stream- If Drayden's playing on stream,
You are that straight.
because I
Holy
have
shit! I
what
have
Dirk
cried
sent
way
me.
too much for things related to Eve
Listen,
over
the
the
thing
course
is-
of the days following. The
This
best
is the
Eve
thing.
Vegas
Drayden,
ever.
You've got the song playing right now.
Yeah.
Dirk, you
So
played
we're
it
at
at the
the end
beginning.
of
I've
the
got the
show?
bagpipes. I can put Johnny Cash on the end of what I'm recording right now, and then within maybe an hour and a half, it can be out to the public. Because I have access to the fucking
It's fucking horrible, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fucking horrible. This
I know it is.
entire experience has been like, there's been BC dying, which like makes me think about all sorts of things related to Eve, but not even just Eve, because we're just talking to him every day. And then it also makes me think about like people were giving me personally condolences. It's like, holy shit, are you
I have the
serious?
same. That I have the same. I exactly fucking.
I know
Okay.
that. I know that.
I had the fucking same, and it's like.
It's okay,
Alright,
Dirk.
Drayden,
It's
Drayden,
okay.
Drayden.
It's okay.
Let's we should
No,
close
we
it out.
don't need to fucking cut this shit. Just because somebody has fucking
We all have
emotions.
condolences we have to pay. It's okay,
Cheers,
Dirk.
cheers.
You know, I just want to say it's been a week for me as well, because of you know all the stuff that went on out in Vegas with Jay McLean's deal and his thing, because that really hits home for me as a vet. BC helped out Podside so much over the last couple of years. We really built a bridge between Podside and Eve Radio and Open Comms and all the guys that are here. And you know, BC would come on and help. Even when I couldn't be around to help out guys, BC was there to help my guys, the content generators on Podside, get things going. And so, you know, it was a great time this weekend or this last week out in Vegas, and then to come home for this. And I do have a good note to end on, and hopefully, you know, when something goes, when you lose something, you gain something. And I had that this week. I know a lot of you guys don't, but you know, so I had a brand new grandchild, my first time grandfather as of this week. So it's really hard because it's been an up and down week. So when you lose something, you can gain something, and that happened to me this week. With BC going away, and you know, it's tough. But hopefully,
It's okay if
you know, we can. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's tough.
So
Well said. Well
well,
said.
yeah, well said. So during all the rants, I've been watching a lot of the players in the chat channel sit here and say lots of kind words too. And I had an idea of a gimmick where we could start at the top of the list and each person read one, but I think we're too drunk to pull that off. But the
No.
Well, then let's try it. Let's start at the top of the list, and you might have to scroll through some, but there are some awesome things that people in chat are saying too. And you know what? Shared pain is all of our pain, and it's tough to get through this. And I don't want to be corny by quoting Gandalf or something, but I'm going to. It's so hard. I'm not looking at it on the internet. I'm just trying to record it from scratch. But it has to do with, it's really hard to live through these times. But it really matters what we do with the time that we have left. And as Dirk said, we'll all go on. But yeah, Dirk, start at the top, and this is kind of a tribute to Wiggles too, because we're all sharing your pain too. Start at top, find some line in there, and then each person read it on the way down and find one. I think we're too drunk.
Nope, we're not that drunk. So I'm going to read what CCP Alpha just put in the TeamSpeak here. Now, what he said is that this has been a roller coaster of emotions, going from both tear and laughter and back again. We love the community and how much people care about each other and support each other, both on this stream and throughout the community in cases like this. Through laughter and sadness, we cry and laugh together. We go through both highs and lows. We're there for each other. We've learned from our mistakes in the past. Alpha has said that he doesn't regret any of the connections that he's made with players. And BC has been connecting players together through the show for all these years, both in his time with Eve Radio and in the Open Com show since then. And I think like that, although he didn't say it himself live on air, like it is very well said. And I think that CCP Alpha's views there reflect that of CCP and a lot of the older players here as well.
Here's a good one from Marsha Mello in the chat. I feel very bad because last time I spoke to BC, I snapped at him. But the time before, I didn't. And the time before that, he was really nice to me. So it seems like he was someone who wouldn't have held a grudge.
I think I'll go with something of mine that I didn't get a chance to say. I didn't get a chance to go on the last Open Comms at Vegas, and I'm really regretting that now, and that's kind of hitting me.
Scorn says, Goonspeed BC, you wonderful bastard.
Yeah, Saragossa also renamed one of her stations. I linked it in chat. Honoring BC.
I mean, like for me, this community's been incredible, and it always has been for a long time. I'm not known as a community person really. I'm known for like what I do in game, but that's not why I play at all. I don't play because of the game. I play because of the people, and I think that's the same for pretty much everyone who's played EVE for so long. The reason you can't quit isn't because of changes in the game that make it more interesting for you. It's your interactions with other people and the relationships that you share and cherish. With you join people in their joy and their triumph and in their loss. And I think this is a perfect example of the EVE community coming together and learning from its mistakes and the errors that we've made in the past, and moving forward. I don't see any reason why that we can't support more and more people with their loss, and we grieve together as one, as a family. So in PL, we have the whole Pan Fam thing. Okay, so we're a family, but so is the rest of EVE. If someone in Imperium who is, our sworn ally, the entity that people expect PL and our friends to fight, like we would grieve with them as they would grieve for their own. We share that loss, and like losses like BC and everyone else that's lost within EVE, we share that loss as well. It's something that you can't understand unless you're part of it, and I think that everyone here who feels that loss will understand that, and it's not something like I know. Rain was saying that to me earlier that she had to go and explain to people in her workplace and say that that someone that she knew online had passed away, and she didn't feel that she could get through a day at work. And a lot of people won't understand that, but everyone that's here will do. And I think that's something that, like I say, we all share, and that we need to raise awareness of in the future, not just with people that are in the spotlight, but people that are out of it as well. I know Max Singularity in here is going to push that forward, and I think that we all owe our support to that, regardless of where in Eve you're from, and no matter what side you fight for or who you dislike for whatever they've done in game. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, it never mattered in the first place. And if you didn't take that step back and look at the big picture and realize that Eve is nothing to do with spaceships, it never has been. Okay, there are spaceships there are pixels involved, there is ISK involved. It doesn't matter. Like, that's not it. Eve is a community, and it always has been. Like, whether you're pitting yourself against other people in competition, you have that relationship with them, and you should value them, whether they're your opponent or they're your ally. Either way, they are part of Eve for you, and it's something that you need to be mindful of when someone becomes not a part of that game anymore. Like, sometimes they're removed from the game in situations that isn't their choice. And BC and Vilerat and Photon, there are a lot more. I remember back in 2007, 8, like, I know people who lost people, like friends of mine that I've flown with for years now have lost their parents, their friends, cousins, and I've been through that. I've been through that with them, and I've seen, like, one of my closest friends in Eve lost his dad, and literally half an hour later, he was on TeamSpeak with me, and he said to me, like, my dad's just passed away, and I couldn't believe it. And I called in sick and was on TeamSpeak all day with him, and I didn't know what to say. I'd never been through that, but I went through that with him, and I'm grateful for the fact that Eve gave me the opportunity to be there for him at that time, and you can't go further than that, and that's what CCP has given the player base. It's not about mechanics. It's not about what you want changed. It's not about ganking in high sec. That it doesn't matter in the larger scheme of things. And Eve is just incredible. And like I say, it's nothing to do with the game. It's about people, and more people need to wake up and realize that. Yeah, definitely.
Are we going in a certain order? I'll just say something next, if it's cool. I just want to say. First of all, thank you everyone that's here in TeamSpeak, also everyone here on Twitch for coming to remember BC. Good friend of mine, good friend of everybody's. There's very few people that I've lost in my life that have really hit me home. I had a friend that committed suicide about 4 years ago, and BC, and like those are the two people that I've lost that are close enough to me that have really hit me hard, and it's really sad. I mean, everyone's really sad about it, but I'm so glad that like everyone's here to remember him and to celebrate his life, and that there's so many people that actually cared about him, and thank you all for coming here. I'm gonna do a shot for him.
Thank you, Drayden.
Shot. Great job, Drayden. Great job.
Why does it always come to abusing my liver?
I shall lift my chalice.
Because that's how this works, bud. Don't worry, we'll get you indoctrinated.
I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan of BC. I'm just a fan of BC when it started. I was a fan of his music. I was a fan of the BC show. I'm a fan of the Open Com show. I'm a fan of the people that are on here now. I got my wife outside shooting fireworks. I bought a freaking guinea pig I named BC tonight. I made
You need a
meatball
goat. You
subs
need a
for
goat
BC
named Dirk.
tonight. And I'm going to tell you
Goat
something. I
named
named my
Dirk.
car after the Open Com show. And I love the Open Com show. And I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I mean, you can't get a better community than this. And I haven't played Eve a lot within the last year. And I went to the Eve PA thing, you know, where we all camped out. We all hung out, and I had to leave early because my son's got autism. And it was cool. But I'm going to tell you something, man. Every week I'm going to be here. And every week I'm going to support Eve. And every week I'm going to support Open Comms. And every week I'm going to sit there and I'm going to remember BC now. And that's what it's all about. And that's why we do this. Is it about the game? Sure, it's about the game. But it's also everybody about the game that's in the game. If you remember that, you remember everything, man. And that's why this shit has been going on for as long as it has. From a little tiny company in a little tiny fucking country in the middle of the goddamn North Atlantic. Right? Holla if you see it. And that's what it
Right
is.
on,
I
buddy.
mean, you look at, I don't get along with a lot of people on this show.
America.
It like honestly is very
I'll
true,
tell
and
you,
sometimes I wonder. I do
really
wonder if I do wonder if CCP realizes the extent of their own accomplishments in what they've done for the people that have come together to play Eve. Not just in the game.
That's what I was
Wiggles,
saying out
I
in
love
Vegas.
I love Subspace Radio, DJ Grom on Tuesday nights. You know, I listen to freaking, gaming radio.net now, which was everadio.com, whatever the fuck it is. I still listen to it. I love it. How could you not love it?
You know that little tiny
It's not
island
about
out in the
loving
middle,
it. You know,
in the middle
it's
of
like
the Atlantic.
really,
with,
does CCP understand what they have fucking put together, right?
No, they don't.
Right.
Because
They don't understand.
Well, hold on.
They don't.
No,
I swear
that's
to
not
God,
true.
They
They
don't.
totally understand.
Like the thing is,
They
CCP
totally
CCP gets
understand what
this,
they have
and a
put
lot of the
together.
devs, like you see, like Falcon. So he was
Yeah.
Barone. And he did Veto, and that was one of the first communities that I remember being around way back in the day. And he's gone on to to be the dev that interfaces with the community, and now you have devs increasingly reaching out to us as players. And you go to an Eve meet, and when they're not, whether they're wearing their dev shirts or not, they are as part of the community as we are. And that is fantastic. There is no other games company or games designer that I know of that is part of their community as much as CCP is, and they are part of our family as we are of theirs, and that is absolutely fucking incredible.
This is the thing.
All right, and I've gotta go real quickly. So I wanted to just say something real fast because BC would be pretty unhappy if I didn't at least say adios, bitches.
It's later, bitches.
Oh, he missed Z Nation tonight, right? Z Nation tonight.
Yeah.
Oh my
point
God,
is,
he's not even going to see the rest of Z Nation.
Miss
I
TV
think-
talk.
Fuck TV talk. Look,
Guys,
TV,
we'll
you can
give
watch
you
it on
the
DVR.
tools. You're
Yeah,
the
but he
ones
loves
who are
Z
connecting
Nation.
each other.
The fact is, you can watch it on DVR. You watch it on repeat. Hell, fuck it. You can torrent it if you want. Who gives a fuck? The point is that we're remembering someone out there. I've just looked at the clock. It's 20 minutes to 4 in the morning here in the UK and in Iceland. And Alpha's the same as me at the moment. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm still sat here. I should be asleep, but it's Friday night, and in a few hours, I'll be about 8 miles that way in a pub, talking to a few people, and yeah, that's what it will be. There's not much else to say.
You know, talking about Iceland, if you guys saw Ghost's presentation, that was both awesome and scary that guy can look into people's minds like that.
I saw his keynote one, but I missed his actual presentation.
Oh, his presentation, he's talking about how he interrogated the bankers during, the financial crisis of 2008. And what he did is, he'd ask them about numbers and people wouldn't remember the numbers, but he would ask them, well, wasn't on that day company had a company picnic and then people would all of a sudden respond. So what Iceland, where their power really comes from, it's not their volcanoes or their water system. What it is they've told stories. They sit in the dark for a real long time, and they have these sagas. And these stories the sagas are stories about the people, and they carry that tradition of storytelling. And what happens in Eve, if they ever make a TV show, it's not going to be about the wars and all that stuff. It's going to be about stories. It's going to be about, this person fell in love with that person, and, and I was betrayed by that person, and I had desires and dreams of a kid in an academy. And in the background will be the Eve spaceships. If you look at any Battlestar Galactica show or Star Trek, it's not about the damn technology. It's about the human condition. And Eve is exactly like that. And that's what those Icelanders have given their gift to us, is that of their culture and their sagas. We remember BC.
You're right, though. Definitely. Eve isn't a game. It's just a medium for people, and that's it. Like it's a medium for which people can interact. And it's fantastic in that way.
It's zeros and ones. That's all it is. If you break it down, it's zeros and ones on a server about maybe 7 miles from where I'm sitting right now. And the point is, it brings people together, regardless of whatever game you play or whatever thing you do. It brings people together. And without that, the human race will just fuck off.
So here's the irony in all of what we've seen is so the judges quoting in Twitch chat that this is Eve, right? We've seen a trailer like based on that concept. We've seen a trailer based on Eve is real, and both are correct. But there's no way you can portray what Eve is. And this, I think, this Twitch stream, in its remembrance of BC and of every other player that's passed on from our community, demonstrates that fact in more and many more ways than any trailer ever could. And there's no way to show that to people outside of Eve, but to make the most of it as a member of the community.
Just wanted to add to that this is the real Eve.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Eve is a game, but when it comes to the connections people make in the game, it's more than a game. Like the game is the functionality that people play through. But
not a game, it's a service, remember?
Right, well, it's a service. Yeah, exactly. It's like the game
Real
is
life is what we do when we talk to each other.
yeah, the game is the buttons we press. But there's not that many games that actually transcend the actual mechanics of the game itself, and Eve is definitely one of those, because the bulk of Eve is not the game mechanics itself. That's what people do with the game, but how the people live the game is through the social connections they make.
That's how Eve is played.
Eve's social part is what makes Eve. Like, everyone's like, oh, you could like scam and do this and that, but no one realizes that you make best friends and you watch them lose a part of themselves, whether it be through death or through divorce or through any other things. No one realizes that when you get into Eve, and that's what makes it tough, and that's what makes it real. That is why when people say Eve is real, this is what they mean. They don't mean some bullshit of like, yeah, I scammed XYZ amount of dollars. Nobody gives a fuck about real life dollars. Everyone cares about the person on the other end of the computer. And that's what makes Eve is real.
And
you know what, Ray? That's the thing. That's the thing that gets me, right? When you see these articles, and PC Gamer had one today, said, from Scoot McCabe, I scam billions and billions of ISK. Who gives a fuck? That is ones and zeros on a fucking piece of software hard drive. That's all it is. That is not fucking real shit. It's not, these thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever, right? At the end of the day, everyone here and everyone listening to this needs to remember that CCP is a business, right? They make money. We are people who pay them to play this game or whatever. Fair enough. But the relationships we build outside of that, whether it be through podcasts, Twitter, Facebook, chat, Skype, Slack, Discord, whatever chat line you want, Vegas, FanFest, London, Amsterdam, Eve Down Under, you name it, anything like that. Those are the real things that build off this. And that's the fucking reason. Fuck anyone who says, oh, I earned 100,000 million ISK. Well, bully for
Yeah.
fucking you.
ISK
Bully
is
for
garbage.
fucking you. ISK is a 1 and a 0. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. But if I really fucking wanted to, I could shut Eve down. I know people who have access to the data centers higher than CCP that could take it offline. I don't give a fuck about that, because you know why? Because people are friends. It makes friendships. It makes fun times. But I don't give a fuck about that. You know what? Friends are good. People are good. Keeping people together and keeping this planet. Because remember, we're on this fucking little rock that's orbiting a star, that's in a galaxy, that's in a universe, whatever. We're here for a limited time. Have fun and enjoy the time you're here. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
All right, and I'm gonna head out soon too. But this has been wonderful, and I think BC would have been real happy with how this show turned out. But as Max brought up earlier, like a lot of great people have said stuff in chat, and one of the cool things that I think would make everyone really happy is House Hendo, who says, BC is why I started watching Twitch and streaming myself in the first place. He is an inspiration. And I mean, he really is. And you know, he's had a pretty cool impact on my Eve life and my real life as well. And I'd like to kind of tip my hat to him. He's the one that kind of dragged me into this whole podcasting thing and introduced me to the cool world of what Eve is like when you're not in the game and stuff like that. And he dipped my toe into it, and then I kind of just jumped in the pool along. And I just want to give a shout out to him for the impact that he's had on my life, and it's gonna ring true forever. So big ups to BC. Thoughts always gonna be with you, buddy.
Shots to BC.
Shots.
I shall lift my chalice.
I'd also like to say that if anybody ever has a chance to go out and do an Eve meet someplace, whether it's Pennsylvania, Vegas,
Yes.
Iceland,
Yes.
Houston, Toronto,
Yes.
New
San Diego.
York,
Yes.
Atlanta,
Yes.
wherever you are, even if you want to host it and see if maybe, dude, even if 2 or 3 people come out and say, I play Eve, then do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I went out to Pennsylvania, even if it was for like a day and a half, it really was worth it for me. And to meet somebody like Dirk McGurk, to meet Mrs. McGurk, to meet Mrs. McLean, to meet, Jay McLean. Totally awesome freaking people, man. And I made friends out there too, when I was out there. But even for that little bit of time, do it. Just do it once. Just do it one time in your life, man. And it makes it all worth it, and I'll tell you what, I miss BC. I got a guinea pig. Got a big guinea pig that looks like BC. He's got the beard, right? And we got him tonight. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. I had my drinks. This is my sign off for tonight. Thank you very much for everybody that always listens. I've been listening for a long, long time. And you guys keep listening, because it ain't never going to change, because it's always open comms. Doesn't matter what you do, right?
Right, but
Drake.
take care, dude.
Dirk signed off, but I just want to say.
Hey, well, hey, no.
Whoa, Buck Strider,
No,
you know I got this.
No, hold on. Buck, I hit that target. Well, we got feedback. Dirk? Mr. Dirk?
Dirk is out.
Are you hitting the push stock right now? Oh,
It's all
okay.
Kate, all the rest.
Oh, it's all...
Dirk is out.
Buck, I hit that target. I know how to shoot a gun. I just hit myself as
That's
well.
very American of you.
Love you guys, man.
It's healed up now, though. It's
hey,
good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Buck.
Hey, thanks for coming up, Buck.
Later, Buck.
Anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for all messages on Twitter and personal messages sent to both of us. And just asking people to please donate, even if it's $5. She really needs our help right now, and please donate. And thank you everybody who has donated. We really appreciate it.
So, reading Elise Randolph, who's signing out, he says, Mrs. BC, if you need anything from us, don't hesitate to ask, okay? Our thoughts are with you, and our thoughts are with the lost. great part of life, and I know just a drop on the sand compared to your loss. But he means every bit of that. I know, like, even as my small part in the big world of life, like, I will do anything I can to help you, Mrs. BC. So let us know. Let me know, let Lisa know, let Graf know, let anyone of Eve know, and we will help you. We'll do the best that we can.
Thank you all so much.
We love you. You're a part of the community now, whether you like it or not.
There's no escaping us nerds now, ever.
In a completely
And
non-creepy
she
way.
has our
isn't that
numbers.
reputation?
Call us anytime. Call us anytime for anything. If you
I
need
will.
anything, if you just need to talk, we love you, Megan. We really do.
Obligatory one of us. One of us.
So,
Okay, I'm
are
gonna
we-
sign off now.
all right, Kate, have a good night.
You too.
You get in there and you get my big man, his cuddles, and you get that little fucking that little food goblin, that drunk food goblin, his food. In
Get
the
him his
middle of the
wings.
night.
He's eating his meatball sandwich.
Oh,
right now.
dude,
Yeah.
he's gonna. You know you're gonna get in bed. He's gonna like have just marinara just smeared all
I'm gonna
over
kill him.
everywhere.
For
He's just
anybody
like,
who doesn't
give
know,
me a cuddle, give me a hug.
Phil,
The
George,
marinara
George,
monster.
George. Are you saying
After
no
Dirk
homo?
drinks a lot, he goes.
No,
into,
I'm not saying
he
no
goes
homo, I'm
into,
just-
like,
No,
his
no,
food
no.
goblin mode, and he's like
Hashtag no
he's
homo.
like a bridge troll when it comes to food, and he just kind of. When we were at
Oh,
Vegas
yeah.
last year, I went into his room because Kate gave us the key, and I was like, "Dirk, what are you doing?" And he was drunk and naked
It's
in
like
the
that.
bathroom,
Put on pants,
and he goes,
Dirk.
"I'm eating my wings."
He's eating his barbecue wings in bed.
In bed. In
No,
bed,
no,
in the
no, hold
waiting
up.
She
bed.
Ms. McGurk was so concerned that wings were being eaten in her bed without any sort of like protective measure against wings getting on the bed that she was furious that wings were being eaten on her bed.
Well, no, hold on.
You know that she was beyond furious.
Hold
that
on.
wings were being eaten in the hotel room.
Right.
Without her permission.
This year we missed our chance, Jay. You know that, right?
Yeah, we did.
There was a night.
pretty
I
hard.
think it was actually Thursday night after Open Comms, and that was the traditional night that you, me, Bam, and Logi Bro would go and molest Dirk in his bed.
To be fair, we always have that night because it's
But
immortalized on
like
video.
we
and
gave
in-
it up. We're like
It's
we're
out
like we
there.
gave it like, oh, he didn't get wings, and then I found out the next morning he's like, yeah, I was up in bed, I got some late night barbecue wings, I was eating them all in bed. I'm like, you motherfucker, you didn't tell us you had wings, or we would have showed up.
Burrito from the
You know what?
Mexican place with no utensils.
You know what? You know
Yes,
what? All
they
I gotta
did.
say. All I gotta say, Sean, Kate, Snapchat. That's all you guys gotta do.
Snapchat's too
between
new.
each other.
I'm afraid of
Literally,
Snapchat's too new.
Snapchat that shit. No. Secretly Snapchat, screen grab, and just post it from a
Do you want to
random
duck face
Twitter
with it too,
account.
Wiggles? Wiggles,
Huh?
duck face it. Duck face?
No, no,
doesn't
duck
matter.
face. No, stop that right now.
Duck face with
No,
us. Come on, you
no.
slut.
I have no Pringles. I can't duck face.
Is that duck face, or is that just like?
Duck face is right.
That was just a prank. I didn't know what was going on.
No, I'm not a fan of the duck face. Like, duck face takes you from like a 9 to a 2.
Hey, dude, I don't care.
Like,
It's 5 to 4.
you
in the
could be
morning.
a redhead, and in my book, a redhead takes you from a 2 to a 9. But if you redhead and duck face, 9 to 2. 9 to 2.
Dude, hold on. How about if the redhead has a nice rack and we'll?
I'm not a big fan. I don't even care about the rack. Like, like B cups.
What?
B cups, bring them on. I'd rather have B cups over double D's.
So
Like,
hold on. You were saying like a handful is more than enough.
a handful is
So who
more.
would you
No,
step on
no,
with BNC?
more than a handful is too much in my opinion. Like B and C, B and C is perfect. D is getting on the borderline. Double D too big. Too big.
Dude,
in my
now
opinion.
we're-
I would rather have
Hey, you just gotta open your mouth more.
No, I would rather have A cups over double D's. And I'm one
All
of
I'm
the
gonna
few men that
say-
will say that.
All I'm gonna say.
But-
is
Anything more than a
everyone-
handful of the waste, right?
But B cups and C
Don't
cups
eat.
are like heaven for me. Like, you can handle
All I'm
them.
gonna
You
say-
know what you're getting into, and you can handle all of it.
All I'm gonna say is
Drayden,
everyone.
I gotta say, I'm
Yeah.
with Drayden on this.
All I'm gonna say is everyone who's
So-
listening to the podcast, right to the very fucking end, we love you because I'm posting this. Like, I'm recording it. I'm gonna put the song that Dirk wants on the end of it, and then it's gonna be posted before I
What's
go
the song
to
he wants
bed.
on the end of it?
He wants Johnny Cat Hirsch.
All right, so
Oh, I already played that.
Yeah.
I'll play it
No,
again.
he wants it at the very, very, very end of the podcast. The front, I've
Wiggles.
got the intro bit. Yeah.
John Canadian is on after us. He is on at 11 Central Time, which would be 12 Eastern Time.
He's
4 minutes.
That's past.
So we
So now
gotta
our
shut this.
Ruiz
We
is
gotta
doing
shut it
it?
down.
Yeah,
we
no,
can say
I'm-
we can do
thing
the
is-
later bitches. We can do the BC later
We have to
bitches.
do
or
later
not
bitches.
bitches
We
over?
cannot.
Is that
We
what
cannot have a
we're doing?
BC show without a later
Rain,
bitches.
Rain, it
All right.
doesn't matter what anyone says. I'm still recording.
You can record all night, baby.
Wait,
But we gotta do a later bitches.
Wait,
We're
Puka,
doing
what?
later bitches.
All right, right,
Wait,
ready?
hold on.
Wait.
Hold on, Puka, go.
Okay, BC was a big man in size. He was a big man in life. He had a big heart. His heart was as big as he was, and and I think that we can all remember him that way. For many of us who couldn't reach out into the community, couldn't leave our homes for whatever reason, Eve and podcasting and doing what we do is our way of interacting with the real world. And that guy was an inspiration for me, such a huge guy, all the way around. And everything that he did, everything who he was, everything, that guy was a big man. Nobody could deny that.
It was as big as his heart.
Amen.
Ready? Later, bitches.
Wait, hold on. We gotta do. If anyone's still drinking, I'm pouring one farewell shot for the road for BC. We always close the shot out with a shot. The show out with a shot.
Close it.
So we're gonna close this out. I hope Drunk Canadian will forgive me for this. Do I play the tearjerker bagpipe intro as the outro?
Yes, Drayden, do it, Drayden.
It's such a good. Hold on. The people that missed the intro, they want to see the outro. Drunk Canadian, please forgive me. I'm gonna play it again. I know it's a tearjerker, but it's such a good intro outro.
It's good.
I'm gonna
It's
play it
good.
again, but we're gonna do some shots.
For BC.
And all right, so we're gonna call later bitches. 3, 2, 1. Later bitches.
Later, bitches.
All right, now let me pull that up. And it's gonna take me a second. Sorry. I thought this on the fly. So I'm gonna have to find the video.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah. I'm really good at this whole hosting thing. All right, so
You're
all right.
almost drunk.
So everyone,
My brother says later, bitches.
all right,
So
later
do
bitches.
it.
I'm gonna have to mute the team speak, or everyone be quiet because I'm gonna play the outro.
Just mute it. Just mute it.
I'm gonna mute it and
Mute it.
all right, it's muted. So I will. Thanks